The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People say the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does stop, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. I don't want you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Again, happy Friday to those in television land. Happy Friday to our silent supporters. Happy Friday to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week and looking forward to a restful weekend. Tonight's topic is mash down corruption, and we're going to continue with where we left off yesterday with 599 reasons to vote for PNP. So when you come in, guys, remember to thumbs up the live, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show some support by subscribing. With your host tonight, Mystic Sensation with Baron and Marie, we also have Pink Hue Green and Melting Pot. In the chat, I have the link to Alan Bernard's website. He's a candidate for Northwest St. James. So you can click the link to show him some support. I will pin it shortly. Let me just quickly go ahead and welcome those in the chat. Don Mel, Dorothy Beverly, Truck Life, Falmouth Girl 2, Carla Ebanks, Yukal Allen, Lavina Miles, Patel Cruikshank, Matthew Lewis, Noreen McLean, Falmouth Girl 2. Oh, I said that already. Sorry. Cecile Phillips, 123 Praise, Patricia Hutchins, Marie May, Paulette A, Ludell Burns, Maxine Fraser Bell, Monica Hall, Timestamp, Hurricane Hattie, Fitzroy Nugent, John Scott, Donna Livingston, Carol Roberts, Nervelyn Campbell, Keisha Richards, blessed up, welcome, and a special shout out to our channel members as well as our moderators. Really appreciate each and every one. Tita Taylor and if Dawkins, welcome. Without any delay, I am going to hand over to Baron.
All right, thank you for that, honey. And of course, I want to say again, big thanks, right, and welcome to all of our listeners and those who are following us, right? Before we get into the crux of things, right, and the business of the day, of course, let us do our usual thing, right? Meet and greet, And let us begin with Sister Pinks in this place. All right, Sister Pinks.
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah. Yeah, good evening again to all the viewers, every Jamaican living overseas, living locally, living in St. James, and especially Northwest St. James. Good evening, Comrade Leader, our chairman, chairwoman, GenSec candidates, and blood and fire comrades. Blood and fire comrades, good evening. And everyone in the chat, good evening.
All right. Let us hand over the baton to, of course, the opening batsman.
Greetings and blessings to one and all. Thank God it's Friday and we are here once again. And the mystic sensation, the man with all the revelation. And you know we are here tonight along with our lioness from the west, Pinks Blue Green. Pick up yourself. Yeah, man, must also acknowledge, you know, our host, Sir Lord Byron, alongside our technical director, Lady Anne-Marie. And tonight we'll be here once again, as I said, just sharing the space with our beloved family in social, media land. So once again, greeting goes out to you all. Big up the comrade them in the west, you know, same way. And we are big up the comrade them right round the island. More so the comrade them from Mama P, Old Stomping Ground. That is now currently represented by Angela Brown. Yeah, you know, say the 2 Mile region that we are talking about, you know, Union Garden, Crescent Road, Kid Lane, Cookan Lane, yeah, Norman Lane, yeah, Greenwich Farm, Boat Island, big up on yourself, same way, you know. There's some school there, you know, Greenwich College, you know, Boat Island, big up on yourself, same way, man. I want to say, man, blood and fire, comrade, big up on yourself. I yield back the floor.
All right. All right. Oh, we want to begin the program tonight. We want to just play our comrade leader, right, as it relates to the care that being meted out, right, to the Jamaican people, particularly, right, the blood and fire comrades, right. We realize that the Jamaica Labour Party, right, we had applied to use the space, right, to do our get together, but the Jamaica Labour Party chose, right, to, you know, utilize the same space. So to avoid, right, any sort of friction with the fact that we have witnessed several things being happening, the tearing down of our posters, and, you know, the engagement that they want to engage and drag down us in violence. So we decided that, look, we are not going to travel that route of violence. We are not that type, right? We are not that type. So then let us play the comrade leader as it relates to the comrade leader addressing that situation. Without any delay on it, let us get into what the comrade leader stated in the cancellation of Sunday's event.
This is a message to my fellow Jamaicans, and in particular, the supporters of the People's National Party. As you are aware, we have been having a series of highly successful parish meetings over several weekends. The last in that series is a parish meeting in Kingston and St. Andrew, scheduled from weeks ago for this coming Sunday, 10th August. We applied for and have received the permission of the police for this parish meeting to be held in Crossroads. The Jamaica Labour Party has decided to keep a rally on the same date in Halfway Tree. In the expectation that the JLP rally is to announce the date of the general election, something which we and the people of Jamaica have been calling for, We have decided to hold our meeting on a later date to be announced. We would not want our supporters to be concerned about possible confrontation in this time of intense political fervor, a potential risk that would be heightened with both parties having meetings on the same night relatively close to each other. I call on all Jamaicans to behave in a respectful and orderly manner and avoid any political confrontation so that we can have a clean and peaceful election. May God bless you all, and God bless Jamaica, land we love.
All right. Well, measurable, and trust me, that is what we call quality leadership, right? When you can forecast, right, what is happening, and then, of course, you can lead accordingly, navigating yourself away from danger. So this is what we talk about, Comrade Leader Mark Golin, right? The navigator who is going to navigate Jamaican society into success. Let me say that clear and plain. Now, for those who lack certain knowledge and awareness and fail to be cognizant, right, of history, and so then they speak ignorant. And we heard a lot of them saying that the People's National Party, under the issue of the politics, never have and design any social programs. Jamaica, you know, that is a big lie. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That's really crazy. But it goes to, you know, saying that majority of the Jamaica Labour Party supporters, they either, one, don't read or don't do their research properly, or three, blatantly want to just defend corruption, and we can't put it right any better, right? And so then I am going to have you listen again to this person to show you that this person totally lack knowledge, right? Without any hesitation. Tonight I'm feeling extremely good enough, feeling nice. All right, let us get into that and let us listen to what this fellow has to say, right? Totally ignorant, right, of certain information.
Labour Right can provide a book of recording achievements that they perform and show. Them performance, them show for so many years. And PMP not power for 20 odd years. Can they provide a book like this? Eh? Oh, no, look. Can they provide a book like this? Look here. Well, Labour Right though. Look. Oh, no, look. See the achievements, them? Look. Oh, no, look. People may say, oh, no, look. Ongo the JLP can do them thing.
Wow.
PMP can't do nothing at all. Then they want about time come. Time to mash up the country again.
Poem. You know, I mean, not lie. You know what this coming like? This coming like the Darrell Valls rural school bus system. Your bus one bring in our Robitin, right? To say that, okay, all right, these are good buses, right? And he meant well for the children. Darrell Valls only meant well for his pocket, right? And those who breach the procurement policy as it relates to those buses, where Darrell Valls will be investigated. He will be investigated. All of what Darrell Valls is doing is deflection. We are not going down the road, you understand, in terms of deflection with Darrell Valls. Darrell Valls believe, and let me tell you something, Darrell Valls. It doesn't make sense to try with all the deflection. We are not the persons who you think you are going to deflect from. The person who you need to really deflect from is the Integrity Commission investigators. because this will be investigated. So the amount of time you spend, right? Whether you want to go on Emily Shields, right? Emily Shields cannot stop the investigation that is going to come your way. Yes, this procurement for the buses will be looked into by the IC. So that there is no form of media house can save that from you. And listen, we don't want to hear about the bus situation again. Just prepare to deal with some questions and answers from the Integrity Commission investigators. We want to just depend on that. No matter with the bus thing and where, don't try to convince us. Right? We are not the ones who needs to be convinced. You go and try and convince the Integrity Commission investigator. Before I proceed any further, let me just allow Pastor Ricky to meet and greet his people. Yes, Pastor Ricky.
Yeah, good evening, Sir Byron, Lady Anne-Marie, Sir Melting Pot, Lady Pot, Lady Pinks. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Sorry, I had some technical, my mic wasn't working, so I was here fighting with it, but thank God it's working now.
All right.
Happy Friday, everyone. Truly, this is the day that the Lord has made, and in spite of every situation, we will rejoice and be exceedingly glad in this day. And I turn it back over to you since I'm late.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor Ricky. So let me address that person who claimed that PNP doesn't have any book as it relates to those so-called, fires of lies that Andrew Holness, right, concocted, right? No, PNP, the truth be told, PNP doesn't have a book. As a matter of fact, what we are going to give you, we're going to give you the library. So please stay around, sir. And we are going to invite you to come into the library. PNP don't carry book.
599 reasons.
Right?
Reasons.
And we are going to give you 599 solid reasons why you are to vote for, why you need to jump from the Jamaica Labour Party, right? And vote for the People's National Party as a matter of fact. Let me tell you something, my friend. If I show you a book as it relates to JLP corruption from 1954, might be you would have poop up yourself. So we don't have no time for that. Let us go into the People's National Party library. We don't carry books, and we don't carry flyers. A library own, a library of social programs. So you stand by for the library, sir. Let us come into the library, come into the People's National Party library. Out of order. Your few little pages of lies where you run out with. You make me get into the library. All right, so we did
Norman yesterday.
Yes.
So we've gone to Michael today.
Let us do Michael Manley today.
1 sec. There we go.
Okay. All right. Now we have covered Norman Manley. So Norman Manley, the founder, or one of the founders, I should say, right, had created several social programs and the pathway to success for the nation. The pathway to success as it relates to democratic socialism. And so then when Daddy Norman finished his tour of duty, he handed over his tour of duty to his son, Michael Manley. And I tell you, Michael Manley, right, shine beyond the horizon. Michael Manley, indeed, pull on his father's footsteps. And I tell you, he built on what Daddy Norman had left. So now let us introduce Michael Manley. And with Michael Manley, many of the social programs that Michael Manley created, I tell you something, Jamaica, fortunately, as we speak today, these are the programs still being utilized in today's life, right? 2025, many of these programs being utilized, right? So let us introduce Comrade Michael Manley. Comrade Michael Manley will always be remembered as Jamaica's most passionate and unrelenting campaigner for social justice. The Jamaican workers will always remember Michael Manley and the PNP for the body of legislation and programs which expanded workers' rights and raised the workers' standard of living, including the minimum wage and the compulsory recognition of trade unions. Let us dig into Michael Manley. 28. The abolition of the master and servant law to establish and protect the rights of workers. Michael Manley did that. The People's National Party did that. The Status of Children Act replaced the archaic Bastard Act, giving legal rights to children born to unmarried parents. Many of you now, right, who going against the People's National Party, right, don't even know these things. So that's why it is important for us to share these things, that some of the things that you are benefited from is not from the Jamaica Labour Party, but the People's National Party. The maternity leave law, which granted paid leave to new mothers. Employment equal pay for men and women Act became effective 1975, and let me stress on this. Many women who found themselves in the Jamaica Labour Party, do they realize that Michael Manley, the People's National Party, fought for equal pay? It is not the JLP party who had done that. It is not the JLP party who had the love and care for and respect for our ladies to ensure that their work was equally measured and equally appreciated as the men. And so then, men and women, right, Michael Manley, right, had now crossed that bridge in terms of having both men and women, right, getting equal pay. And so then, I will ask many of the ladies who are supporting the Jamaica Labour Party, right, what are some of the reasons that they are supporting Jamaica Labour Party? You understand? Now let us move on. Free education. The abolition of tuition fees in secondary schools. A big thing, listen up, people. And so then we have to lament. Free education. Michael Manley was able to offer that with a solid social program that benefited many of them, and those who benefited from this program now going against the People's National Party. Now we talk about ungratefulness, you know, right? And a lot of them don't even remember this, right? A lot of them, when we talk about ungratefulness, right, the People's National Party still travel, right, the culture and the history of democratic socialism. And so then what we need is to remind you, just like that ignorant person who claimed that the People's National Party over 20 years cannot provide anything, like the flyers of lies that they came out with. He didn't know that the People's National Party doesn't have flyers, they have the library. Now, establishment of Jamaica Movement of Adult Literacy, Jamal. When a system forget the elderlies who hardly could sign their names, who hardly could formulate letters into words. But Michael Manley, remember them, stretch out his hands to them and created Jamal. Right? I wonder if the one who talk about PNP can't show nothing like the flies of flies. Because it appears as if, you know, the possibility he might also benefited from Jamal. I don't know. Now, the GC Foster College of Physical Education was built to train sports professionals. Creation of the Cultural Training Center, now Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. Plenty Jamaica Labour Party supporters, they will not come here on this program when we are reading out this, because social programs like this will shame them. Will shame them. And they will have to do an introspection, go in front of the mirror and ask themselves, why am I voting for Jamaica Labour Party? What Jamaica Labour Party has done? Have the Jamaica Labour Party done half of what the People's National Party had done? Now, come on. Access to education was significantly expanded by increasing the number of institutions as follows. Built 93 infant schools. Want to hear that, people? Andrew only spent 9 years, going 10 years, and cannot show one school being built. Built 67 primary schools. Want to hear that, my Jamaican people? Built 44 new secondary schools and built 4 community colleges. Now you tell me now, my people. Establish Montego Bay, Brownstown, Knox, and Excelsior. Those are the community colleges. The establishment of the National Housing Trust, a fundamental social program that serves millions of Jamaicans. Millions of Jamaicans for that dunce, right? Who is speaking that PNP cannot show anything as it relates to the flies of flies. Might be he's one of those who benefited from NHT. Is to show you how ungrateful, right, and ignorant some of these bastards are. The establishment of the sites, and see here, NHT is where Andrew One is now dibbling in every year. So NHT now becomes a personal piggy bank. Is Michael Manley social programming? That Michael Manley created this for low income. Now Andrew wants to take it and destroy it. Destroying it, my people. And so the many of contributors, the millions of contributors are not getting the benefit of what Michael Manley had designed for them. And the Jamaica Labour Party government had changed and shifted the mandate to appease them and their friends and political kickbacks of contracts awarded to their friend. My God, put NHT out of its true sense of purpose. The establishment of the sites and services housing project to accelerate the construction of low-income housing, significantly expanded the land reform program to provide increased access to land and boost agricultural production. The rural electrification program REP was created with the wiring of some 30,000 homes, benefiting 270,000 Jamaicans. The Special Employment Program was created to provide employment 11,500 jobs for the large pool of unskilled workers. An additional 7,000 jobs were created under the Youth Employment Program. Who want Andrew Honest to show something like this? Of all the book of flyers, show one solid program. One solid program like what we are reading out now. right? Open the book. Andrew Honest, you show us one solid program. The employee share ownership program. Now, all right. Opportunities were created for small and medium-sized business to expand through programs such as the Micro Investment Development Agency. The Rent Restriction Act was passed, reducing the power of landlords to arbitrarily raise rent for tenants. And so Michael Manley looking out for the poor. That's why we talk about Michael Manley and the People's National Party, poor people governance, they care for the poor. The establishment of the National Commercial Bank, formerly Barclays Bank. Airport Authority of Jamaica created and see National Commercial Bank now turn Andrew Honest friend bank. Michael Leachin. And what Michael Leachin now is now doing with the banks. Right? Running what? Money laundering, money for Andrew Honest. So then tell me something. And this is why you want to vote for Jamaica Labour Party. Right? Here it is. The establishment of the National Commercial Bank, formerly Barclays Bank by the People's National Party. And what Andrew Honest has done with it now, turn the bank into a Ponzi scheme incubator. National Commercial Bank is a Ponzi scheme incubator. And where it is washing millions of dollars from Andrew Honest. You know, like you me talk at the facts. Facts. Airport Authority of Jamaica created the establishment of the Port Authority of Jamaica. On Wembley say a JLP do them, huh? JLP no build Jamaica. It's PNP build Jamaica. The establishment of the Bauxite and Alumina Trade Company of Jamaica, BATCO, to ensure that Jamaica got maximum gains from the bauxite, mining and sale. Michael Manley do that. That is one of the fundamental reasons why they fight him down and damage democratic socialism, because they realized that Michael Manley was for the people. When Michael Manley did this, many of the so-called PSOJ, the elite, right, the cliques, right, put up and left Jamaica. You understand? Because they did not like how Michael Manley was giving the opportunity, creating opportunity, equal opportunity for Jamaicans, all of us, whether you're poor, middle class, or rich. They didn't like it. They want to keep the spoils for themselves, the wealth for themselves. That's why them pack up and create mayhem. Seaga join them. Michael Manley, propagandize Michael Manley. That Michael Manley, right, was leaning towards Cuba. Right? This is the viciousness that Jamaica Labour Party had done to wreck Jamaica economy. We could have been better, much better than Singapore. You are going to tell me that if the People's National Party wasn't doing an excellent job, do you believe that the Singapore Prime Minister would have left Singapore and come and take our model, our economic model? They wouldn't. He wouldn't. But it's the very same economic model that being executing in Singapore today. And look at Singapore and look at us. Look at us. We have been damaged as a result of the Jamaica Labour Party. This is a party that's supposed to be, politically wiped out of our history. Simply means not being supported by the electorate. This is a party, a criminal network, very active, damaging the lives of Jamaicans. The establishment of Alco Minerals of Jamaica, Jamalco. You know think JLP do this? The establishment of the Jamaica Bauxite Institute. You think JLP do this? The bauxite levy was introduced to finance national development. What Nigel Clark had done and Andrew Honest. You never know about this, I'm teaching you this. The backside levy was introduced to finance national development and protect Jamaica's interests. Recently, in 2024, before Nigel Clark run away, Nigel Clark reduced the levy to 0. How much of you who know that defending the Jamaica Labour Party, that the levy that we used to get how much $1 billion from Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark removed that levy and collecting political kickbacks. We heard about some trucks who have been there, you understand, dealing with haulage. Who won those trucks? That is a question that needs to be asked. Who won those trucks? It is the selling out of the backside levy, the selling out of our people's interests, political kickback by Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, you will have to face the judiciary. And let me tell you something, a big mama, Emily Shields cannot save you. Creation of the Office of Disaster Preparedness. No, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Right? The creation of the Integrity Commission in 1973. So people, you see how far the Integrity Commission, right, it's coming from. The creation of the Integrity Commission in 1973. You see how far? The establishment of the Kingston Export Free Zone. The establishment of the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica. If the people them want me to continue with this, let the people them answer yes or no. Because I don't want to bore the people, you know. People on the tell me if you don't want to, or if you don't want to carry on. Please type it in the chat. Let me know there. You understand? It's okay, right? Because I don't want to bore my people. Because as I say, no, we don't carry book, you know. We carry library. What people are saying?
Yes, one, yes, so far. Yes, people continue, and yes, they need to put it out.
Okay, so let us put it out there then. Because more often know my people are supporting me, you know.
Yes.
All right, we can move on. The Bureau of Women's Affairs was created to address issues critical to women. We know that many men abuse women, right? In the sense of many of the times you have single parent home. Men who got several women pregnant and just gone and just, you know, don't have any form of interest. And so many broken homes. Michael Manley decided that no, we have to protect this. We have to protect the family. When we say People's National Party, right, is the party that builds Jamaica, responsible for the future progress of Jamaica. Jamaica Labour Party rub shoulder against it to fight it down, bring it down, mash it down, crony capitalism. Yes, we are here to teach. The Jamaica Maritime Institute was established. My people, that's where Andrew Holness administration will read and then thief up the money. I want to remember, you know. So Jamaica build and then mash down. Jamaica create and then destroy. Over 100 community enterprise organizations were created to mobilize entrepreneurship at the community level. Look at that. National Youth Service was formed to create a cadre of patriotic young Jamaicans for national development. More than 1,000 community aides were recruited and deployed across Jamaica. You see what they go on with our healthcare system now? You see what they go on now, healthcare system? Our healthcare system, let us talk about that. That the People's National Party built the healthcare system. And what we have now, $922 billion unaccounted for under the Ministry of Health. Jamaica Labour Party. Do you feel me tonight? Many community health centers were built to facilitate primary health care delivery. Right? Maternity centers built to provide prenatal care to expectant and lactating mothers. Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Lucy and Nova, Black River, St. Elizabeth, Portmore and St. Thomas, Fair Prospect, Portland, Dias and Nova, Castle and Nova, expansion of Victoria Jubilee Hospital. That's why the Jamaica Labour Party tried very hard to wipe this document off of the internet. Yeah, man, we have it. We have it. We have it, man. So you try hard to wipe off this document off of the internet and then fling out your garbage as it relates to what you fling out, right? Your flyers are flies. So that it convince fools like what talking about that PNP cannot create any book of social programs. We don't create book of social programs. We carry library. Just stand up and listen to me if you listen to me. Intensive care units built at Kingston Public Hospital. And every one of these, I don't know, penke program. I don't know, hold on. You see any school bus listed in this? You see any old school bus, but they brought down listed in this? And we call it program. We don't see we put any old school bus in this and call it program. We don't take one of the flyer German. Intensive care unit, these are things that we create. Intensive care units built at Kingston Public Hospital, Bustamante Children's Hospital, and University Hospital. New Nurses Training Center built at Clanwell Regional Hospital.
Benefited.
And my wife benefited. And she's right beside me now, fighting. You understand? To tell you the truth. Right? That when you go to the poll, let's call it, when you go to the poll, remember all of these social programs that we are talking about. Vote to preserve them. Because the Jamaica Labour Party on a mission to destroy Jamaica and destroy these social programs. Electoral Advisory Committee created in 1979. The Ombudsman Act passed in Parliament. People, that goes to show you at the time what Michael Manley thought protest was as it relates to free and fair general election. Michael Manley is showing you that although he had done so much good for the people, it is the people's choice to select a government. Andrew Owners crushed the political ombudsman, damaged the political ombudsman, right? And try to mix up Jamaica and confuse Jamaica. That the electoral committee is doing the function of the ombudsman. And with all of the anti-punky going around on it, you don't have anyone coming out and try to correct the behavior of these men. Dead silence. But this is what Michael Manley had done. Michael Manley said, in spite of all the good that I have done, I am giving you the opportunity to choose your government. Creation of the National Gallery of Jamaica. Michael Manley awarded the United Nations Medal for the fight against apartheid. Let me tell you something, Jamaica people. This honor, like Andrew Holness, can never ever, this honor can never ever be bestowed upon him. Michael Manley was only powerful locally, but internationally and globally. That Michael Manley do only involve in social programs in Jamaica, but involving social justice globally. We remember the South Africans, what they had went through the apartheid system. Michael Manley is the first prime minister in the Western Hemisphere who stand up against injustice. Stand up against injustice. Also, this was one of the reasons that they fight against Michael Manley. I said, let me ask some black people, right? Let me ask some of us, why the reason you are voting for the Jamaica Labour Party? Why? But I left you for you to do your introspection. Now, watch out, man. You don't think on the program yet? Hold on there. I have to drop my pants to this one. People don't think on the program yet. But let me tell them big, loud, and clear that of all the prime ministers that have gone through the hemisphere of the politics, P.J. Patterson had created the most social program between 1992 to 2006. And we have the history here. And that's why we said education is important. And why education is important? Because you know, knowledge is power. And so then when we said people power, what we are talking about when we said people power, giving back power to the people, simply means it goes to the basis of education, that we need to educate our people for full awareness. And so that you know, if the Jamaican people did have full awareness, if all of Jamaican people did have full awareness, JLP wouldn't get one vote. Argument done. P.J. Patterson, let us welcome him, introduce him. You understand? The architect, right, who designed many social programs that the Jamaica Labour Party roll up and down in it and use it. P.J. Patterson, the architect of the modernization of Jamaica's physical and economic infrastructure, is the only Jamaican prime minister to have led his party to victory in 3 consecutive general elections. Did you believe that P.J. Patterson, right, did force on himself to the people for the electorate to bring him back 3 times? No. Did you believe that P.J. Patterson walk in the night and him they make loud noise? You understand? In the people in the community in the early morning. P.J. Patterson don't do none of that. P.J. Patterson don't do none of that. What P.J. Patterson has done is to make social programs, implementation of these programs, talk for him and work for him, because Andrew Wallace don't have no social programs. Then he have to walk. Stand up in that traffic. He must stand up in the traffic. He must turn traffic police. Don't they know the flyers? They hand out flyers. Toilet paper. PJ don't do them stuff there. PJ don't need to do them stuff here. PJ, what you call about implementation and utilization and execution. That is what PJ Patterson used. Ask Andrew Honest to do implementation, right? And put them to work and execute them. He doesn't have one. And so then he has to walk, he has to create fires of lies. Huh? Yes. Have you seen PJ Patterson in Cash Plus? Have you seen PJ Patterson mixed up in OLIT? Have you seen PJ Patterson mixed up in SSL? Yeah, man, I'm beating tonight, man. Come in front of the class. Under PJ Patterson's leadership, more Jamaicans own land. You don't want to check the history? You don't want to check the history? Then ask yourself the question. If under PJ Patterson, more Jamaican own lands, ask yourself the question. Why are you voting for Jamaica Labour Party? Why are you supporting Jamaica Labour Party? Had access to decent shelter, access to water, electricity, and telephone service than ever before. His non-confrontational style. You think PJ Patterson would have seen that JLP made an application to use the space in Crossroad? And then he deliberately done off a tree. You understand? To create opposition and confrontation. You think PJ Patterson would have done something like that? Do you think Michael Manley would have done something like that? Do you think Porsha Simpson would have done something like that? And certainly, Mount Jefferson Golding is not going to do something like that because we talk about standard. So when Emily Shields talking about excellent service that she had done, Emily Shields, have you done a research on what I am showing? And let me ask you, Emily Shields, why are you defending and being a political operative for the Jamaica Labour Party? When you, Emily Shields, benefit from several of these programs that I am talking about now today. Here, Emily Shields, but me leave you for your introspection. It is for you to answer. Right? So, Emily Shields, since you talk about you inspired by God, don't you realize that the Jamaica Labour Party tried to instigate violence? Or me not hear you say anything from that. Not one time you come out and you speak against the posters that they are tearing down. Nothing. You silent on that Emily Shields. And you talk about the honor that bestowed on you must come from God. Let me tell you something, Emily Shields. If you don't realize, Satan also gives people honors. Satan also gives people honors. And there it is that Satan had given Andrew Wallace honors to join Cash Plus, honors to join Olint, honors to join SSL, and to rob investors, the demons of hell. The modernization and expansion of the infrastructure of the islands, airports, seaports, and territorial waters to enhance the environment for investment. Jamaica Labour Party can do that. The construction of a modern highway system beginning with Highway 2000. Let me talk about this. Many of you know who talking about the Highway 2000. That's why I should have just researched that. You know. When this come in, what Seaga said to PJ Patterson? Seaga said to PJ Patterson that Highway can. You don't remember that? You don't remember that? And now here's the Jamaica Labour Party now. Right? Merging himself. Right? As it relates to PJ Patterson's success. Putting all that name on highway. When you think of these things that we're talking about, people. The virus. The political virus that continue to drag us down and pull us down. The construction of North Coast Highway from Negril to Port Antonio. Why do you think Andrew Wallace can't touch this? Because we run out with this and we show him up. Some stuff and talk about the highway because we push him on our fight. I said, boy, this is not fear. Some can't talk about any highway. Eh? So the book of garbage one come out with. Right? None of them things are as it relates to solid social program. The pamphlets that him come out with. Right? You don't have one solid social program. You know that? Preparation and rollout of the tourism master plan for sustainable tourism development. Major tourism expansion. Look, because many Jamaican people don't realize this. People's National Party build it. Major tourism expansion. And look at the following. New Ritz-Carlton Hotel, Grand Palladium Hotel, Grand Bay Principe Hotel, Iberia Star Hotel, Standards White House Hotel, Secret Resorts, Royal 1, 2, 3, and 4 hotels, among others. Approximately 30,000 jobs created in the tourism sector. Let me ask Andrew Honest. Show 1,000 what you're creating. Show us. 1,000 where you created, if you show me 1,000 where you created, right? Trust me. You will be doing something. But you cannot show. And you want to speak a third term. And you want to propagandize the People's National Party. Said never make them hold a hand on the economy. Eh? And to allow the thieves to control the economy. And the further in our treasury. All of these, what I am showing, develop the economy. And we have to show the people, no wonder why we say people, they try to wipe this off of the internet. But we have here, man. We have here for them. Jamaica visited by a record 3 million stopover and cruise tourists in 2006. Farmer cruise ship pier built, not by labor. Port Maria Marine built, not by labor. Montego Bay Convention Center built, not by labor. Tourism enhancement fund created, not by labor. Tourism Product Development Company, TPD Co. formed, not by labor. South Coast tourism expanded, not by labor. Significant expansion of bauxite and alumina production, not by labor. Jamaica Deposit Insurance Corporation was created to protect depositors in the banking system. Creating the Financial Service Commission, right, to regulate the non-banking financial institution. And so then when the FSC shut down SSL, what thieving government do? The thieving government allow them to continue and realize them. Look at that, man. See China people, see the evidence here? Creating the Financial Service Commission, right, to regulate the non-banking financial institution, to tap the Jamaica Labour Party, Confederates to thief. And so then in 2012, Porsha Simpson administration doing the people's job, locked down SSL. Andrew Holness came in power 2016, and in 2017, him couldn't wait. Him couldn't wait. Right? Lecker. Stuart Lecker, who sits on the board, allow the corruption to continue and realize SSL, and they know that SSL was a Ponzi scheme. Know that SSL was a Ponzi scheme. And know that the Prime Minister was Ponzi scheme upping. Know very well that the Prime Minister was Ponzi scheme upping. Jamaica, let me ask you the question again. Why are you, those who decided to vote for Jamaica Labour Party, look at what the evidence is today and what we are presenting, and ask yourself the question. Why are you voting for the Jamaica Labour Party? Right? For me, who are standard, integrity, I, under no circumstances, would allow myself to be associated with a criminal network. Identify myself loud and clearly that I'm a criminal, because I support criminality. And if you support criminality, then of course you are a criminal. Foreign exchange market liberalized, Fair Trading Commission created, personal income tax rate reduced from 33.25% to 25% to provide more disposable income to taxpayers. You hear that, people? Expansion of the mandate of the Art Trust by establishing the National Training Agency to serve the workforce. PJ Patterson done that. Unemployment reduced substantially, reaching a record low of 9.6% in 2006. 64 schools built. Let's read about that now, man. 64 schools built and refurbished, including 17 new basic, primary, and high schools in Western Jamaica. Let me ask Andrew Holness, who served there for 9 years in the political process at the helm. How many schools have you built, sir? Eh? And you are telling Jamaica, right, that they will make a mistake if they vote the People's National Party in? Eh? And what? Allow the thieves to continue to thief? Now, 64 school built. Let me ask you, Andrew Willis, how many schools have you built? You should have shame. You're a despicable person. National Youth Service reintroduced in 1994, providing free textbook in schools at a cost of $3.3 billion. Early Childhood Commission established the establishment of the National Council on Education. Poverty eradication program, right, reduced poverty to 9% in 2006 from 30%. What on there? Because we never know this. So let us compare in terms of what Andrew Willis claims him do. We shall lie at him. So I run out to the PIOJ, Planning Institute of Jamaica, to tell the public lie that it reduce poverty, right? Reduce poverty from 18% to 9%. And acting like that a performance. Watch this on people. Poverty eradication program reduced poverty to 9% in 2006 from what? 30%. Do that and beat it. Do that and beat it, no man. 1989 that. Do that and beat it. And because you can't do that and beat it now, you are telling the president of the PIOJ to come tell that. Mighty God. Introduce the poverty alleviation through health and education part program. I hit you are used now in Andrew. Significant growth in the national insurance fund generated a larger pool of funds for the provision of social security benefits and assist in reducing poverty. Under the National Insurance Scheme, the NI Gold Health Plan was established to provide health services to pensioners. And Joe, let's match up all of that, you know. The establishment of the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, the establishment of National Health Fund, Jamaica Drug for the Elderly Program, JDEP introduced. Some 50 new ambulances were commissioned into service for the health sector. Let me ask you a question, Andrew Honest. How much new ambulances do you put in? Eh? Let us get it right. Let us get it right here and get the record straight right here. When we have Christopher Tufton run out, I never repeat what Christopher Tufton said. That no party in the history of Jamaica, no other administration in the history of Jamaica spent the most money on health care. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Christopher Tufton. Show me 10 new ambulances. Show Jamaica 10 new ambulances. And so then let me ask you where the money there, where you spend. Because the healthcare short $92 billion. So if we can't see, if we cannot see the improvement in the healthcare, we have to look for your pocket. We have to now look for your pocket. Because we can't see the improvement in the healthcare. So then we have to look on your pocket and your lifestyle and the businesses that you own. Well, let me tell you something. You will have to talk to the judiciary. Let me leave it there. Hospitals built and upgraded. Maypen, Mandeville, Anatole Bay, St. Anne's Bay, Black River KPH, Bellevue, Cornwall Regional, and Falmouth. From day one, you come into power. You don't upgrade Cornwall Regional Hospital. And all now. And all now. What you have converted Cornwall Regional Hospital into is a cash cow. Right? And so then taxpayers' money continue to bleed and lean away from the true purpose and down into your pocket and your friend them pocket. And your run come out. They talk about your administration spend the most on healthcare. Let me beat it tonight, man. Let me beat it tonight. My subscribers, they give me the authorities for beat you tonight, and I beat you. Regional health authorities established to improve management of our healthcare system. Now, 108, what? Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica, established, right? Done by the People's National Party. During PJ Patterson administration, information technology was promoted as a vital sector of the economy. Liberalization of the telecommunication sector enabled the introduction of additional service providers, which resulted in hundreds of thousands of cellular phones being available to all Jamaicans. Establishment of the Office of Utility Regulation, liberalization and expansion of the media market, more TV and radio stations, and establish of the cable industry. DLP can't talk nothing like them sort of social programming. Right? If you're looking at them pamphlet of peer fraud, what is that excretion in it? It's living urine. Access of information, the establishment of the Central Information Technology Office, established the Universal Access Fund, the establishment of Sports Development Foundation, stadium built in Falmouth, Trelawney, Sligo Bay, St. Catherine, and Catherine Hall in Montego Bay. Many multi-purpose courts and community play fields were also built and upgraded. Can JP do any of this? Can the Jamaica Labour Party do any of this? The establishment of the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. I hit Andrew Holness now. The manipulated. NEPA. Hook it up in my office, you know, and I manipulate it, you know. Now, just don't let it go, man. We don't have 2 or 3 weeks here for let it go, you know. Just a matter of time. Right from the corner. Created the National Commission on Science and Technology in 1993 to accelerate national development. 120, the establishment. Look how much program PJ Patterson did, man. Look how much program PJ Patterson did. The establishment of the culture, arts, sports, and education, Chase Fund. Major housing expansion resulted some 150,000 houses being built in 18 years up to 2007. True. And you tell me now, Andrew Holness, you promise you're going to build 70,000. Almighty God. It's only 1,500 you build? 9 years. 1,500. So if you take 9 years to build 1,500, I will give you another 9 years. Not only 3,000 hours to build. So now I make a comparison now. PJ Patterson, 18 years, 150,000 houses built. And you, Andrew, want to spend 9 years and only build 1,500. And if we double that, only 3,000, then what on there? Which party they build Jamaica? Which party they build Jamaica? Which party is for the poor people? We want to see that, you know. Major housing expansion resulted in some 150. Andrew Holness, can not tell us if we step up to this? Because I will be insulting you. Can you creep up to this? Because I creep your baby. Can you creep up to this? You can't creep up to this, you know. You understand? So we're not telling us if we step up to this. Can you creep up to this, sir? Take for yourself and allow the People's National Party to go through. People's National Party, full speed ahead. NHT, joint ventures with private developers, relocation 2000, Operation Pride, Indigent House Program, Sugar Sector Housing, Inner Sector Housing, the establishment of National Housing Development Corporation, land ownership expanded through land titling, Operation Pride, Emancipation Lands Project, the establishment of National Solid Waste Management Authority. I said them behave like a through the liberalization of the motor vehicle import policy, ordinary Jamaicans were now able to own a motor vehicle. You hear that? Eh? Can JP do something like this? Eh? Can JP do something like this? The establishment of Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC. and where the People's National Party also align and have a rural school bus system. So when Emily Shields are talk about, and I make it look like a Darrell Valls. Darrell Valls do what? Darrell Valls done evil to Jamaica. Darrell Valls used the Jamaican children for pawns, for political pawns, and stuff for them. That's what Darrell Valls done. And so then you, Emily Shields, you could have never, I am only showing you this, Emily Shields, to show you that you could never be inspired by God. You're inspired by Lucifer. Okay, 15,000 houses in bill. But you know, remember when I start off right, because I said 3,000. Right, so 15,000 houses in bill. Right, 3,000. So 3,000 to 150,000 houses. You understand?
Still no rich.
Can't creep up to it. Because he can't step up in. He can't creep up to it. Now the establishment of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, and so then the People's National Party had created already a rural school bus system. And do it honestly, without rubber dime. They have not fabricated any stuff. Darrell Valls, right? Use the children as pawn to rob the treasury of $1.4 billion. But let me tell you something in a Darrell Valls. Let me tell you something in a Darrell Valls. We don't watch you know. And when we tell you I watch your keenly, because you bring in roughly about 25 to 26 buses or 28 buses. I don't know how many buses you've been bringing in, but somewhere there, between 25 to 28 buses. But you utilize the budget for $1.4 billion. Darrell Valls, I tell you, Darrell Valls. You see, all the grown are going and they go on TV and they go on this and they go on that and I try to drag out the argument and you think you are not to worry about this. I know we have to worry about it. It is the Integrity Commission investigators who are going to check out the procurement process for these buses. You know? I hope you have an argument to tell them no Darrell Valls. Because everything will be investigated in the Darrell Valls. Nobody say because number one, you're all dunce. You're all dunce Darrell Valls. You're not even can hide the wrongdoing. New transport centers built at Halfway Tree and in Montego Bay. The establishment of National Works Agency. The establishment of the, I see them want to come take over NWA now. Imagine. The establishment of the Postal Corporation of Jamaica Limited. Right? Okay. Yes. National Contract Commission was established. Office of the Public Defender was created. Office of the Professional Responsibility, the Bureau of Special Investigations, and the Police Public Complaints Authority was set up to monitor and investigate alleged police excesses. Established the Corruption Prevention Commission. Implemented the Possibility Program with a care center and a skills employment center for children and youth living and working on the street. Expanded gender equity and enhanced family life through legislation such as Domestic Violence Act 1996, Property Rights of Spouses Act 2003, Child Care and Protection Act 2004, legislation dealing with early childhood education and security of daycare. So when Andrew Walnut run out with him pampas, with him what you call it, complex of fires, complex of lies. You understand? Can him show something like this? Can him show something like this? Creating Emancipation Park for recreation and entrepreneurial activities such as markets, physical activities for children, walking or jogging, cultural and art activities and community events, right? Implemented the 2.5 billion Lift Up Jamaica Community Improvement, and see there the IBA 2000, right? Signature. All right, let me go to the panel before
get back to this.
And then we get back to this. Now, panel, just please, forgive me, but I have to show Jamaica the reason why. Remember, I know we can't joke now. We can't joke in this thing now. 2 weeks left. 2 or 3 weeks left for general election, you know. We have to give the people them the truth. We have to give the people them the reason as to why they need to vote for the People's National Party. All of what People's National Party had done and what they are going to do. I don't want no hanky-panky business. And so then, right away, woman batsman, sleeping too long, man. Rotty George, everybody now catch him asleep. Now, watch it. All right. You are going now.
Tired.
I'm tired. Sorry, kick it away.
Yeah, you know, when we said Jamaica is PMP country, this is what we're talking about. But before I say anything, I want to make a correction. Last week, Friday, I said that when you go into the polling station, if you're not understanding the ballot, to check with the indoor workers. So I was wrong. Something in my spirit told me that was a mistake. So I called someone like Monday, and they explained it to me. You have to check with the presiding officer, not the indoor worker. So this person works on election day, so they have full knowledge. So I stand to be corrected. So when we said Jamaica is PMP country, basically this is what we're talking about. You know, our base is bigger than the Jamaica Labour Party base, but look at the institutions. Look at how the People's National Party, from Premier Normal Manley all the way to Prime Minister Porsha Simpson Miller, that every institution that was built in Jamaica, including educational institutions, NHT, NHF, NIS. I mean, everything that was instituted by the People's National Party is to benefit everyone in Jamaica, whether you're PMP, JLP, No P, Maroon, Rastafarians, or whoever. Everything that you just read off of these accomplishments benefits everyone. In contrast, what the Jamaica Labour Party government do, what they claim they are doing, for example, the Prime Minister, through his indigent program, established 300 homes for the poor. And those 300 homes went to JLP workers and supporters. The Prime Minister said he was going to build 70,000 homes through NHT, but yet he only created 14,000 plus almost 15,000, and they all went to JLP supporters. So he doesn't care about everyone in Jamaica. He cares about party. And that's why when you hear them talking about choose Jamaica, choose country, they're talking about their party. But because they have no accomplishment in the 9.5 wasted year, they can't say choose the Jamaica Labour Party. They have to say choose country. So everyone you hear talking about choose country, them are labor rights and labor rights sympathizers. So look at the digital revolution age in the 90s, the telecommunication revolution under Prime Minister Patterson, introducing broadband internet for everyone that has a tablet today, a cell phone, you know, an iPad, whatever gadgets you have, and you're using the internet. That's all People's National Party implementation under the leadership of Prime Minister PJ Patterson. When you look at the greatest Prime Minister of Jamaica, me as a Michael Manley and a proud socialist will always say that till the day I die. Michael Manley brought in equal pay for women, giving women access to be not discriminated, unionizing workers, also bringing minimum wage. The same thing with them I brag about, the Prime Minister raised minimum wage from 6,000 to now 16,000 with a lesser purchasing power. When you look at the schools, the primary schools, the secondary schools, the colleges and the universities, All People's National Party. The prime minister is running around renovating police station that he came and saw and taking credit for it.
Crazy.
Listen to their little pamphlet that he put out is ridiculous. 9.5 wasted years, almost got hit by a car in halfway tree just to support PR. You know, everything that's in that document, they didn't do nothing. They just came and renovate our other wing to Cornwall Regional Hospital that was already there. And, you know, claim that this is their accomplishment. Listen, if I brought someone in my house to fix something in my house, and when they finish, they go and say they built my house, they're a liar, and the truth is not in them. They just came and fixed something in my. So this is what this prime minister does. He renovates and fixes things that is already broken that should have been fixed, and take credit for it. The highway, Mama P wrote the blueprint and have the contract ready, but unfortunately she was not successful in the 2016 general election, and they were supposed to build a 4-lane highway, and them rob the money and chop the money and thief off of the money and build 2-lane highway into St. Thomas and Portland and take credit for it. I mean, this prime minister, the outgoing criminal prime minister, has no accomplishments in the 9.5 wasted years in government. It's this government with this criminal outgoing prime minister has set Jamaica back by 3 generations. Our generations, our children generation, and our grandchildren generation, them set it back. Them not do nothing for Jamaica. So when I'm talk about choose Jamaica, Jamaica was already there. Them coming up politics and see Jamaica. Everything you went through was already established. So, what have they done? This is why the prime minister is out of touch. Whenever he speaks, it does not resonate with the people because nobody can agree with him. It's like he's living in a delusional bubble along with his MPs and councillors. They have not done nothing. The hospitals are deplorable. The roads are deplorable. Now they're speaking, when they speak, listen to how they speak at their campaigns, their rallies. They speak in future tense. We are going to do this. We are working on this, and you will see this in 2 years or 3 years. It's all future tense. So what have they done from 2016 to present? Nothing. Absolute. We are going to give you water. Future tense. We are, everything in their manifesto from 2016 to 2020 and leading up to the local government election last year, them failed for deliver. You're going to build 3-story market with garages, car parking garage and shopping centers. Where is it? You're going to turn Clarkstone into a city. Where is it? You're going to turn Portmore into Silicon Valley. Where is it? You're going to bring in the big energy company for reduce electricity. Where is it? We can go on and on, but I'm just saying, I'm showing out a few things. Teachers have left in droves. Nurses and doctors have left in droves. Police officers, they all left in droves because this criminal prime minister, outgoing prime minister, it's all about party. They're partisan. They're not about Jamaicans. So don't be deceived, my fellow Jamaicans. They don't care nothing about you. You should read this document, this library of accomplishments from Premier Norman Manley to Michael Manley to PJ Patterson and Porsha Simpson Miller, and compare it with their little pamphlet of lies and deception, and you will see which party you should vote for. I would say when you do that, put the X squarely beside the head. Back over to you, sir. Bye.
All right. And without any hesitation, let me just pass on the button to Sister Pinks. All right. Come in, Lady Pinks.
Okay, Uncle Byron, I have a few points to make out to say to tonight. Castro, who was Michael Manley's friend, a very good friend. He, during his time as leader of Cuba. He had shut down all schools in Cuba and asked the students to go into every rural section of Cuba and teach the citizens of Cuba how to read and write.
Yeah.
And that program brought down illiteracy in Cuba to 3 point something percent. And I think when I look at it, I think that's the same idea that Michael Manley tried to copy here by using the Jamal program, because my mother was a Jamal teacher and my grandparents loved Michael Manley. And I would like to ask the JLP who are listening to me, the laborers who are listening to me tonight, can you find a document of Michael Manley ever uttering out of his mouth that he intended to turn Jamaica in a communist country?
Not one.
It does not exist. He never did. His friend Castro became a communist because he had no other choice at the time, because Castro removed the Americans from out of Cuba, went back to them to ask for help, and they said no. So he went to Russia. So you have to understand the Cuban history. Michael Manley knew from day one it could not work here, right? So he was into a different idea of politics.
Democratic socialism.
That is it. That is it. Now look at the School of Art. In Jamaica, Edna Manley, that's Michael Manley's mother, she's known in Jamaica as the mother of Jamaican art because she herself was an artist who went to England, did her exhibitions, and established Jamaica as a place for artists. It opened doors for people like myself, people before me like Christopher Gonzalez, Barrington Watson, his son, um, and others. So many people benefited from what Edna Manley did. So his mother was a champion in that region. Now let us look at Andrew Olney's constituency. He did not build any school in his constituency. What he did last year when Beryl, the hurricane came, a school in his constituency was transformed into a hurricane shelter. And up till this day, as we speak, people are still living in the school. So for 1 year, the school did not open because people live in the school. And all he built in his school, in his constituency, was a police station. So he built a place to put you if you become a criminal, but he did not build a place to put you so you can be educated. Now, let us look at all the unwed children of Jamaica today who are voting for the labor rights. Your inheritance is secure because of Michael Manley and what he did and what he stood for. I just want you to remember that, the Bastard Act. People who pay rent in Jamaica today, I would like you to know you owe your rights as a tenant to Michael Manley. Just reminding you. So why are you voting for those people over there?
Yes.
NCB. Growing up, I always know NCB is the bank for government workers and extra and so forth. Now, NCB has turned a laundromat all of a sudden. Let us look at common entrance. As I said before earlier in today's program, every generation, every generation wants to make the next generation better. My grandparents had certain level of education. My grandmother was one of the first four non-white person. My maternal grandmother was one of the four non-white persons or children allowed to enter a high school before common entrance was done by Michael Manley. And I have to thank him for doing that because during his time as being leader of his country, he gave us free education because in before that time, before common entrance, and when common entrance was implemented, many children of the former master or rich people did not like the fact that their children would go to the same school as their helpers' children, and that is why most of them left Jamaica. The classism that Michael Manley was trying to break down in his tenure, a lot of people objected to it at the time. Now, let us look at the Women's Board when it was established by Michael Manley. Every woman today who has been abused, including the wife of George Wright, remember you still have your rights in your hand to report it. So when you went to the police station that night to make a report, the fact that you could do so and make a case against George Wright is because of Michael Manley. I remember also that one of the things that I was told is this. During the time when Michael Manley was Prime Minister of this country, children not only got free education, they got hot meals at school for free. They
Oh, yeah.
got bulgur, they got uniform material, they got milk powder. So Michael Manley was concerned about the health of every child while he was Prime Minister. I would like to see this Prime Minister do anything,
Uh,
anything
all right, sister.
compared to it.
All right. Let me just allow you to finish. You have less than a minute. So let's use that
Okay.
close up. Yeah.
Let us look at the ombudsman. The reason Michael Manley implemented that is because he's a man of integrity. Integrity. And I would like to thank, me personally, would like to thank PJ Patterson for turning cars, upgrading cars from being a college to a university. Thank you, PJ Patterson. I am one of the students who benefited from what you did. Thank you. I leave the floor to someone else.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now, let us get into what we call real political representation, right? Versus PR. Now, we all remember, right? Let's take it away on it, for now. We all remember when we have the local government election, and we have the People's National Party, right, who had succeeded, right, and won so many seats. However, we have seen Mayor Swaby made promise, and guess what? Mayor Swaby did not only make promise. We have witnessed Mayor Swaby delivered. But the wonder and the beauty of it all in terms of what Mayor Swaby did, the amount of money allotted as it relates to what Mayor Swaby used, that small portion of money to do and accomplish, it is unbelievable. If it was the Jamaica Labour Party who had done that, you'd have earned billions of dollars, right, that those projects would cost. Mayor Swaby used far less than that and done more work. Let us show the evidence of what Mayor Swaby had done. And this is what we talk about, representation as opposed to PR. You have Christopher Tufton run out, you understand, PR as it relates to the there's no other administration who had spent, right, the most money than their administration, but you can't see the money. You have the National Security Minister came out saying the same thing, but you can't see where it's spent, not at all. But look at the difference with Mayor Swaby. Now let us check out this inside Mayor Andrew Swaby. First 100 days. Remember, Andrew Warner's promised that the first 100 days would have get certain things accomplished. Look at Mayor Swaby. Listen up, people.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Now, today we are honored to have with us His Worship, the Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Andrew Swaby. He's the councillor for the Vineyard Town Division in St. Andrews South Eastern. Mayor Swaby was sworn in as the new Mayor of Kingston on March 12 of this year, which means he joins us on the 100th day of his administration. Well, welcome to Sunrise, Mayor. How are you?
I'm good, fulfilling. Thanks for having me.
Good morning.
You are no stranger to local government. You're no stranger to you've been the councillor for the Vineyard Town Division for a while. Now you are in the big chair at the KSAMC. What's it been like?
It has been a fulfilling job. I am enjoying it. I'm working closely with the councillors from both sides of the fence, and I'm the staff headed by the town clerk. And we have been doing excellent things. We have been discussing what we want to do, and we'll make sure that we execute it in an efficient and effective way.
We know what we've been picking up in terms of your public pronouncements, in terms of how you've been pounding the pavement. But for those who don't know, when you got in office, what was your vision? These are the things I want to do in my first 100 days.
I wanted to, I know I wouldn't have completed it, and it's hard to complete it, but I wanted to change the mindset of persons, especially in downtown area, about having a cleaner Kingston. And that, as a result, I've made sure I focus on around the parade area that we're heavily traversed. I want to make an impact into how we see ourselves in terms of bringing transparency and accountability. And as a result, what I've done, I've made sure I have public signing of contract. We have also posted our contracts on the website, and we have also partnered with the Integrity Commission to have some courses, short courses on good governance and anti-corruption framework. And more importantly now, I want to make sure that we get greater participation at the local level. So what we have been doing, we have broadened our the political landscape in terms of community involvement. As a result, you would have noticed that I have indicated there are some stakeholders that we should speak to, and I've started to speak to them. For example, citizens' rights to the city, because they have been critical, and rightly so, of the KSAMC, and I've started to engage them.
You mentioned before about effectively
and promise delivered. Let us go to the KSMAC allocates 25 million to rehabilitate 7, right, of those markets, and Mayor Swaby did indeed deliver.
Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, says over $20 million has been earmarked to address poor sanitary conveniences in 7 Kingston and St. Andrew markets. More details in this report.
The people of Kingston and St. Andrew are set to benefit from a $25 million initiative to rehabilitate 7 markets in the space. Kingston's Mayor Andrew Swaby, following a tour of the Coronation and Crossroads markets, shared the commitment, which will specifically target public sanitary conveniences.
We'll be fixing 7 markets, downtown market plus this one, sanitary convenience. An amount of $25 million will be allocated to fixing this market, because most of the time, most shoppers and vendors are women, and we have to make sure that we look after them.
In a report last month, CVM News highlighted the dire state of several public bathrooms across KSAMC. Some had no running water, others had broken toilets and grimy walls. Mayor Swaby, who recently won the post, says it's time for improvements under his leadership.
So it is very important that the KCMC, under my leadership, looked at this situation to see how best we can make their lives easy. They complain about some other things like the whole issue of cleaning up the market, which will certainly
All
sit
right,
down
take it away.
and look
Let's
at those
not look
issues.
if
They said they are prepared
Mayor
to help to
Swaby
clean the market
delivered
up.
and promised. Because remember, Delroy Mackenzie, Delroy, what is his name?
Williams.
Delroy Williams, who has been there as the mayor, right?
Otherwise known as Feather.
Feather, you have seen the conditions of the market, but let us look in terms of how Mayor Swaby used $25 million and done right the work as it relates to clean up the market. And Feather has been there, you know, for partially going 8 years, 9 years, and done nothing. Nothing Feather has done. But look at this now. Let us show the evidence. Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby fix up Crossroad Market. Look. So this is what we're talking about. Service being delivered. Service being delivered.
I had stopped going to the Crossroads Market because of the nastiness. I was tired of posting pictures of the nastiness. Today I took a chance because I needed to check my mark and to check the butcher. I needed a leg of lamb, a leg of goat for my birthday. I was pleasantly surprised. It is possible. We don't have to live as nasty as we do sometimes. I really give thanks that the mayor has kept his word. This is actually a place I am proud to come to.
All right. Let us go.
I had
more clearer situation, right? Major cleanup in downtown Kingston Hills. Let us show that. And show the difference between solid work and PR.
Day number 8, where we continue to partner with our key stakeholders, Water Commission, National Solid Waste Management Authority, JCF, and the vendors. Vendors, because they play a critical role with what we are doing here on the street. We met with them and we continue to be meeting with them. As a matter of fact, Wednesday of this week, we'll be meeting with the Beckford Street vendors so we can have the discussion around how we sort of Beckford Street working with them, just like what we would have done with Haywood Street and Princess Street. Is the same method that we are taking to Beckford Street and other areas downtown. I must say I am very appreciative of the working relationship that all of us have together. So far, the vendors have been working, cooperating with us. We have been removing the old things from the roadway. But guess what? It is not just about removing the things from the sidewalk. It is some clogged drains that have been in that condition for over a year now. That Works Agency, NWC, and even us, KSAMC, in repairing some of these drains and cleaning the drains could not access before because of what exists out here. Today, you can see Works agencies out here, NWCs out here, and we're trying to just clear some of the drains. So wastewater that have been running on the road, those things can be eliminated. So it is where the mayor says he has initiated the cleaner Kingston.
Why you think I'm showing you this, Jamaica? The difference that leadership brings. The difference between real representation in politics than PR, right? And we are showing the difference and giving people the reason as to why you need to vote for the People's National Party. Now let us look under the Delroy, right? Williams, right? Responsibility and the mess, right? And the stench that Delroy Mackenzie, just collect Delroy Williams, the money and do no work, only PR. And then you hear ladies who they talk about who got pregnant for him and who has baby mother and the slackness he carry on with. Look under his responsibility. Look.
Right now, we say that TSC plot in your throat. This is a messy downtown Kingston. This is a messy at the city. This tent alone are killing people. And this is going for years. It's not now. And it look like they can't do nothing about it. A matter of fact, we need to go further with the investigation because what we get to understand is that it's the pump down here broke up. You see me? And a long time now it broke up. This is the result of it every day. Right now, we still get your TSC plot in your throat. This is a messy downtown Kingston. This is a messy at the city.
How does it affect even like the elderly? Want to cross it? People following it?
All of them is a Sun River. So imagine when the car them a pass through and somebody a walk past.
So from time to time you see people getting dosed.
Regular. Well, we don't know what about about this because it's too long now.
You say too long. How long has it been?
From Christmas gone, people are selling that shit down at Princess Street. So you must know how long that is.
Is this the worst it has ever been?
Yeah. So far, it's blown up a dam there. I boil up in the road like a pot on fire. It's right now, it smells like afraid to eat. It smells like I get afraid to eat. Because I don't eat food there,
Has any official come to take a look at it since?
I see several kind of necktie and jacket coming up. See, and the funny time, I don't see nothing don't eat all now. From last week, them I come see me here. I look, take picture and go at the mouth.
When you saying the eating it harbors mosquitoes?
Yeah, man, mosquitoes, them not play right at 55-36. Mosquito. I want to say mosquitoes are heavy for like drop by you and bite you up in the one.
Mighty God. So these are the some of the conditions, right, under the Delroy Williams, right, responsibility. And see, night and day between a Delroy Williams and of course a Mayor Swaby, night and day. Now you have a clean area, right, clean market where people can go and feel rest assured, right, that their surroundings is healthy. And this is what we talk about when we talk about real representation, political representation, as opposed to, right, that PR stunt that they continue to go on with. Now, I left off when I started the Library of Success at the social programs. I didn't read Porsha Simpson's success. I want to get back there and finish Porsha Simpson success, where we can show Jamaica the achievement of Porsha Simpson, right? And ensure that when we're talking about going to the polls, the people know why they are going to the polls. Because we have to show the people why they need to vote for the People's National Party. Now, this is somebody who I hold dearest to my heart in terms of she, right, and Dr. Peter Phillips single-handedly saved Jamaica economy. This is the queen of the country that fought for us, right? And trust me, put our pride aside and save Jamaica. Let us read. Prime Minister Porsha Simpson Miller is presiding over the greatest and most profound reform of the Jamaica economy. I want to read about that. Jamaican people, I want to read about that so that we can understand what Porsha Simpson had done and how Jamaicans, and that is the reason why we said education is power. Because of us not knowing what Porsha Simpson had done, we had voted out Porsha Simpson. Let me tell you something, Jamaica, before I even go into it. There's a movie that named Wrong Turn. When you're on a pathway that will take you to a better ground, a higher ground, and more success. But you made a mistake and you take the wrong turn. And the wrong turn bring death and delusions to you. It is fundamental for me to present it in this way. In saying that the single mistake that we have made, we had suffered it today by denying Porsha Simpson and vote for Andrew Holness. And so then the memory of how they crucified Jesus Christ in saying, give us Barabbas and crucify Jesus. And I wonder why we black people continue to hurt ourselves, why we continue to self-inflict. Over 400 years, we have been self-inflicted wound to ourselves. So let us read on. Let that sink in. Prime Minister Porsha Simpson Miller is presiding over the greatest and most profound reform of the Jamaica economy in what is acknowledged as the most challenging period in Jamaica's modern history. This is what Andrew Holness had taken, converted it to himself. You understand? Putting it to say that he is who changed the dilemma of Jamaica. Andrew Holness copied this part to say that he's the one that made the transformation. Mighty God of Daniel. Under her watch, Jamaica's management of its national debt has improved. Only hear that Jamaican people want you to listen to this. All major economic indicators are showing positive signs. I want you to listen to this. Let me stop right here. Prior to Porsha Simpson came in, Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness was a part of Bruce Golding's cabinet, damaged the economy. Damaged the economy. Put the economy in an economic abyss. And Porsha Simpson has to come and fix it. While social programs have been expanded to protect the most vulnerable groups in the society, when she took office, Jamaica was close to the brink of bankruptcy. Jamaican people come listen to the truth. That's why they try to wipe this information from the internet. When she took office, Jamaica was close to the brink of bankruptcy. Under the GLP administration in 2007 to 2011, in which Andrew Holness was a part of, and Andrew Holness was in Bruce Golding's cabinet. Jamaican people, you need to go and do your research. Go and do your research. General election is right round the corner. We are not going to take that wrong turn. We are not going to make a similar mistake. We are not going to self-inflict, politically self-inflict. We are not. So we are going to reveal the truth. There have been 11 consecutive quarters of negative growth. The country's debt ballooned from $945 billion to $1.7 trillion, almost double up. Jamaica, look on the miracle, nothing short of a miracle that Porsha Simpson and Peter Phillips had done. The debt to GDP ratio had also climbed to 145%. This translated to each Jamaican man, woman, and child owing some 600,000 Jamaican dollars. The JLP administration had signed a 27-month standby agreement with the IMF in 2010 and did not fulfill the commitments they made on behalf of the country. And to honest, are we telling lies? The information and the history is here. And you are on your political campaign telling the Jamaican people not to put the People's National Party in power, because putting the People's National Party will stop the progress. I mean, stop the progress from your Ponzi scheme happening. That is the progress that you don't want to, for them to stop. Your legacy of stealing, your legacy of trickery and cannery. I said, Andrew Honest, you have to face the judiciary. We have the evidence to show our Jamaican people we are not going to take that wrong turn, and we are not going to self-inflict within the next 2 or 3 weeks. We will never ever inflict ourselves. With Jamaica unilateral aborting the standby agreement with the IMF, the country lost the trust and respect of the international financial community. Since taking office in 2012, the Porsha Simpson Miller administration has begun restore economic stability and Jamaica's international credibility. This has been achieved with the support and partnership between the government and the people of Jamaica. Jamaica quickly regained the confidence of the international community and signed and extend fund facility with the IMF in 2013. Let me explain this. Porsha Simpson has to crawl on her knees, and Peter Phillips went to the United States and appealed to Maxine Waters and asked Maxine Waters, please. She had put her pride aside. Went to the United States. Went to the United States. Asked Maxine Waters to let she have a talk with the IMF. Maxine Waters hear the cry of a woman who is pleading for help for his people. And oftentimes I say, we are fighting for our Jamaican brothers and sisters. We have to use one hand to fight for them and use one hand to ease them off. Ignorance is a destructive part. Ignorance is a destructive part. And this is one of the reasons why People's National Party speak about education as the foundation, education as the column, education as the beginning of wealth and beginning of success. Without education, the poor will perish. Jamaica has since passed 10 consecutive quarterly reviews by the International Monetary Fund after the Jamaica Labour Party failed 11 consecutive tests. By passing the IMF quarterly reviews, Jamaica has been able to re-enter global capital markets and secure the lowest interest rates ever. Where were you, Andrew Honest and Nigel Clark? Where were you? Where were you in 2013? Nigel Clark. Where was Andrew Honest? Where were you guys? Huh? Andrew Honest, you were a part of Bruce Boland's cabinet, right? Who partially destroyed and destruct the economy. The economy has returned to growth with projections for increased growth over the next fiscal year. Yet we have seen Andrew Honest in Parliament bragging that when it comes to the growth and the economy, who is the baby father of fiscal discipline? And this is the thing with a lion and a thief, that they try to destroy everything that you build. But I tell you, Andrew, unless we found out that you're riding on the pale horse. But guess what? We know you now. And we see through your seas of lies and deceit. And we know what we are going to do the next 2 or 3 weeks. From once you call it, and you must get a beating. And you have to get a beating. Because you will be not only getting a beating by the people, but you will get a beating by God himself. You are going to get a physical and spiritual flogging. Jamaica is also becoming increasingly attractive to both local and foreign investors. Business confidence is high. Do you want to ask if the business confidence is now high under Andrew Holness administration now? So people, when you go to the poll, I want you to do this introspection. Compare then and now as it relates to Porsha Simpson and Andrew Holness. The business climate continues to improve and measured every year by the World Bank's global report on the ease of doing business. The debt to GDP ratio has been reduced from 145% to 126%, with a planned further reduction to 120% by the end of the current fiscal year. Our net international reserve have increased now to US 2.4 billion in 2015. Andrew Holness, you don't want to speak about these things. You don't want to speak about these things because you cannot measure up to these performances. You cannot crawl up to these performances. Inflation has been significantly reduced from 9.5% in 2013 to 4%. The lowest rate in 48 years. You see why you don't want for us to share this document? But guess what? I am telling you, you are getting a spiritual beating. Tonight we are revealing the information and the love for Porsha Simpson. Jamaican, we all need to apologize to Porsha Simpson. Jamaica is ranked 64 out of 146 nations in the 2014 Forbes Best Countries for Business report. Just imagine how this woman changed around the economy, an economy that was going into the abyss, an economy where the strength and energy sucked by the decision making of Bruce Golding and an extension Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness was in Bruce Golding cabinet, and how the economy was on a route, on the same route as the Titanic, willing to hit the economic iceberg, willing to hit the economic iceberg. But God bless Porsha Simpson and Peter Phillips. God bless Hannah and Kieran. This is a person that inspired by God to lead. Not Emily Shields, who defending wrongdoing and corruption. Not Emily Shields, who believe that she has been inspired by God. She has inspired by Lucifer, the prince of darkness. Forbes magazine ranks Jamaica as the best country in the Caribbean in which to do business. Administration's continued promotion of brand Jamaica is a major contributing factor to the growth of Jamaica's tourism product. Even in the challenging economic environment, the administration has always fought to protect the poor and the most vulnerable by increased public spending on critical social services. Porsha Simpson never decided at no time ever, and will never find herself in cash plus. Will never ever find herself in Orient. Will never ever find herself in SSL. and collide, collaborated with criminals to rob investors. We'll never. Payments to the park beneficiaries have been increased. This level of investment in social programs is unique in the history of the IMF programs. We have implemented the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program, JEEP, which today has provided direct income for more than 60,000 Jamaicans and created vital infrastructure at an approximate cost of $9 billion. Increased investment in education and training are laying the foundation for a more highly trained and better educated labor force. We have seen that the Jamaica Labour Party, each time in power, has robbed from the education ministry. So let me ask, if you have a Jamaica Labour Party, who every time in power, robbing from the Ministry of Education, then does that party wanted us to educate, to be educated, to lift ourselves out of poverty? Or that party want to make sure that we are not educated, so the things that they are doing, right, it's just go over our heads and they continue to plunder from us, plunder from us, plunder from us. Let us look. Major housing programs have been undertaken, including inner city housing and sugar workers housing programs. The visit of major world leaders, including the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama, Prime Minister of Britain, David Cameron, and the Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, in 2015, alone are major indicators of strengthening of Jamaica relationship with the internal community. Jamaica, we did not see this. We did not see this. We denied Porsha Simpson 2016. We denied her. We denied her these success that designed to pull us out. We denied her, and look what we did to ourselves. We self-inflicted in 2016 and self-inflicted in 2020. And now what we have on our back, we have a dictator in the making. Let us see if he's going to call and set the date for general election. I tell you, Jamaica, we have a dictator in the making. Jamaica hosting of the Petrocaribbean Energy and Cooperation Agreement Summit meeting in 2015 is an indication of the esteem in which Jamaica is held by members of the Caribbean and Latin American community. Today, Jamaica hit below on the corruption index, losing 4 points downward as a result of Paula Llewellyn and Andrew Holness' final administration. Our athletes, performing artists, writers, and scientists continue to excel on the international stage. Life expectancy, 73 years in Jamaica, is at the same level as most developed countries. Right now, a lot of our people are dropping like flies. Even when they go to the hospital for simple situation, they end up becomes number 3. Jamaica continues to enjoy the reputation of being one of the world's stable democracies. Today, my Jamaican people, we are not so sure. Right? We are not so sure. And I tell you that, take that away on. When we talk about the mistakes that we have made and bringing Porsha Simpson in reflection, we realize that come this general election, we are not to make the same mistake that what we had made in 2016 and 2020. Jamaica, we deserve much better than this, what we are getting. Sister Pinks, take this away.
Okay, what did I call the flyers again? Their flyers again? What was your name for it?
What,
Uncle
pamphlets?
Byron? Yeah, the pamphlets. Flyers of lies.
Flyers of lies.
It might as well we call it pamphlets of number 2. Pampers
Okay.
of number 2. No, Jamaicans, I would like to remind you that during the time when we had COVID, and your oldness imported over 35 people from DR, Dominican Republic, to become housekeepers and gardeners in hotels. This was a period when most Jamaicans were losing their job in the height of COVID, and your owners was importing foreigners to do work in hotels. I did not know that housekeepers need to know Spanish to clean a room or be a gardener in Jamaica. I did not know knowing Spanish is a requirement in a hotel until Andrew Holness import these people. And we have seen the chase funds. The chase funds that the PNP implemented here in Jamaica being used by Christopher Tufton to do what? Print books instead of fixing the ACs in the theaters of the Bustamante Children's Hospital. I should also mention that we need to rescue Jamaica by our vote. By our vote. And Jamaicans, I would like you to remember that Our Lady and Queen, Porsha Simpson Miller, in 2012 was named the most influential leader
Look at that.
by the Times Magazine. She is so honored on the international sphere. And yet, when you look at the present Prime Minister, everywhere he goes, nobody wants to listen to him. When our Porsha Simpson Miller made made a speech, we will see snippets of it on international news media. I have never seen a snippet of any of Andrew's speech on any international media. And it's a shame. And do you remember when it's in the height of COVID, Andrew went on an international trip, and the persons attending the trip had a choice to either stay in the auditorium or watch it from the speech be made by each member there from another area. When Andrew gave his speech at that location, the auditorium was empty. Only the persons who went with him at that function from Jamaica were in the auditorium. Yet, when Mia Motley, sister-in-law to our lady Donna Motley here, made her speech, people broke the COVID protocols and stood up in the auditorium full just to hear her speak. African forums invite her. They have never invited Andrew. Think about these things. Why is it Jamaica has always been a defender of the African countries? This prime minister that we have was never invited by any African forum to give a speech or to attend. Look at what happened when Kamina Johnson Smith was trying to go up against the other Caribbean country lady for a position. The Africans just danced and whined and gave her all the good smiles and said, no, we're not voting for you, Camilla Johnson. After you spend so much money campaigning for the position, nobody takes you seriously, and your Holness. Everybody loved Mama P everywhere she would go in the world to represent us. Everybody loved her and appreciate her. Andrew, you're an international embarrassment. It's time for you to go. And I hope my Jamaicans know. Vote by putting the X beside your head. I yield the floor.
You have melting pot in the space. So,
Melting pot, you're back. Where's my cup of tea?
melting pot.
Where's my cup of tea? Where's my cup of tea?
Melting pot, come in the space.
Well, Sir B, I mean, it's a long, outlining of the achievement
Yes.
of the People's National Party, one that cannot be challenged.
All right.
One that will always be reckoned with as it relates to Jamaica history, as it relates to the foundation and the building process of Jamaica. And so we know that, the Jamaica Labour Party and this guy with this little fictitious pamphlet that they print recently, we see all the school bus, say it just print recently. You know that now carry no weight. Yeah? Because that is not a booklet of achievement.
Yeah.
That is a book of fly lies, as my Uncle Byron said. My anode flyers with peer life on it. So that is one of them. So yeah, if we just look on the whole landscape of the politics, one party build one mashup. One party is true and transparent to the people of the country. One tell lie and trick and con the people them and laugh after the people them behind closed door. And this thing must stop. This type of behavior by our leaders must be, put one side, once and for all. And the only time you can get rid of this type of behavior in our society is we have to get rid of the Jamaica Labour Party altogether from a political process. You understand? Time for a new emerging party to work alongside the People's National Party. Yeah, because what is happening to the Jamaica Labour Party is that their numbers have been increasing as it relates to illicit enrichment, and a lot of people that don't even participate in the voting process, but they work as highly qualified civil servants working in tandem with the various ministry. They're also under scrutiny. Permanent secretary, senator, and but it bad. And we have to ask if two of them so-called sperm whale warrior involved. But we get to the name in due process. So the whole narrative is that the People's National Party is a working party for the people of Jamaica. And the People's National Party have all the social policy that Jamaican citizens need. They have the plan to build the country going forward. Yeah. And the plan is to be, a plan that will include citizens alike, whether you're PNP or you're Labour, right? I know Mark G and his other member of parliament will welcome whatever suggestion or idea you have going forward. Because, power belongs to the people. Power doesn't belong to the 5% of, people who dictate things on behalf of the country. No, we want an inclusive nation. We want nationalize back the place where everybody can play them role in a society and help to shape the economy and the future of the country. So we have to look on the People's National Party for that type of, leadership going forward. Because this current leadership is a joke. It's a failed leadership. It's a comic leadership that go to on stage and, act as comedian, cutting ribbons and doing all type of ludicrous thing like rolling up pan foot, walking up hill in a mud fit you know, show to the people them say them equal. Now when Michael Manley that show the people them say him equal with them, him walk with them, him go meet them in all 14 parishes. It is documented. Him not just go up a little one hill and roll up in pants and go home back and put on green clocks. No, him never do that. Him go through the 14 parishes and him campaign with the people and him, you know, sell the people them the idea of the People's National Party and get them on board. And everybody was, you know, right behind this leader, this great leader of the country, until Seaga and the CIA find a way to destabilize the people and brain. And them destabilize the people and brain by using what? Paramilitary. Some little gangster on the ground. Them ravish the place with gunshot and bullet and fire. You understand? Yeah. Them have caught back now them time, you know. You have the real gunshot. And you see the bullet at the one pop. People need to know that when you see me out a copper. That are the bullet, the gunshot are what them bring in. So make me phrase it and shape it and, you know, discuss it and show you in details. We did have gunshot and we have bullet back in them days. Man used to make them one pop and make them gunshot out of the same money where we have. Me and one man I talk about them used to lift up the man will cover them. Lie! We'd have some copper, that's why them cut them out and bring in the white money. People need to know that. Yeah? So we know everything about the landscape shape, you know. Yeah. Them use fire, them go through evening tide, flat that in less than 10 minutes.
All right.
Them
Melting pot, you have 1 minute to wrap up. So use the 1 minute and wrap up.
Yeah. Them want to blame it for Michael Manley and the People's National Party. And Michael Manley have to do what? Have them and help him and show some of them in a gun court and all these things. Yeah. And wrestle with them. Anyhow, them get through with the 1980s election. But we take it back from them. Yeah, Michael have to take it back. You understand? And so we know we burn them most of all. A PJ Patterson 3 term of, you know, 18 years.
All right, melting pot. Same time up. So, all right. Pastor Ricky, jump in and utilize this place.
Yeah. Before I start, I wanted to share with you before we went live, but I had technical issues logging in. But I have to leave at the top of the hour in 35 minutes because I have to get up at 5. I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow because I'm leaving on a flight in the week. I have a funeral to officiate on Wednesday out of state. So I have so much to do tomorrow. So please excuse me at 11 p.m. Thank you. You know, long live the memories of normal Manley accomplishments. Long live the memories of Comrade Michael Manley, Prime Minister accomplishments. Long live the memories of Prime Minister Patterson accomplishments. And long live the memories of Mama P accomplishments. And I strongly believe that these accomplishments should be in the curriculum of our basic school and primary school children, so they can know, you know, how Jamaica was shaped and built after independence in 1962. So even Mama P have more accomplishments than this outgoing criminal prime minister. I mean, as you went over very eloquently, she and Dr. Peter Phillips saved the economy after Bruce Golding and this criminal outgoing prime minister we have destroyed the economy, and you know, there failed 14 IMF tests, and she had to go to the United States Congressional Black Caucus led by Maxine Waters, a Jamaican descent Congresswoman Clark, Congressman Rangel, Congressman Meeks, and so with the help of them, the economy was saved, and the trajectory that we're on now in terms of sustainability was put in place by the first female prime minister, and long live her accomplishments. Now, let me just go back real quick since time is running out to, big up Mayor Swaby for even inviting the Integrity Commission to the KSMAC to allow the counselors there to get training in the leadership, integrity leadership code of conduct. This is what the outgoing prime minister, the course that members of parliament took, but failed to sign the code of conduct. So Mayor Swaby brought the Integrity Commission in, and we see the great transformation of his leadership and ethics. Now, $25 million allotted to refurbish 7 markets that was run down and stench from sewage in downtown Kingston, and cleaning up Kingston. And I'm grateful that he didn't follow the policy of Feder, who's a criminal and is being rejected in Clarendon, in terms of allowing the Metropolitan Police to break up people's style, take with them supplies and goods, and destroy their livelihood. So we can see the great transformation. We can see leadership. We can see ethics. We can see someone who cares for the people. And so big up Mayor Swaby, and I turn it back over to you.
All right. Thank you for that, Pastor Ricky. My Jamaican people, I've seen that Jamaica Labour Party under pressure. Something was sent to me, and I want to share it, right, with the viewers as well. And there is a poll, internal poll, that was carried out by the Jamaica Labour Party. And I would say the original document was sent to me. So I want to share it as it relates to, what the findings are. And then, of course, we are going to break it down. Without any delay on it, let us share that poll. And now we understand why Andrew Wallace is nervous based on this poll that was shared to me. Let me say this, people, right? I can't guarantee the truthfulness or the accuracy of this poll, right? It was just sent to me, right? And I am just sharing it. So I am not validating the accuracy, but we are going to speak on what is there. Yes, go ahead on and share. Let us bring up that, right? And let me see here, because it seems like the draft breakdown in, okay, so it breaks down in 3 sectors as it relates to the counties: Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey. So this is how it has been broke down. So let us look what is happening in Cornwall as according to the internal poll. Hanover Eastern, GLP 43.72%, PNP 56.28%, PNP gone with that. Cornwall, Hanover Western, GLP 42.90, the People's National Party 57.10, St. Elizabeth Northeastern 46, PNP 54, St. Elizabeth Northwestern 48, PNP 52, St. Elizabeth Southeastern, dead tie, dead eaks, 50-50 here. St. Elizabeth Southwestern 48-51. St. James Central 50. And PNP 49. You have to say 50. You have to say this is dead eaks too, right?
Janice.
That's Janice.
Yeah, Janice Allen. Yeah.
Janice Allen. Okay. St. James East Central. Okay, Springs, because you are in the St. James area, so you can be able to tell me, right?
Yeah.
Who control those areas. So St. James East Central, 53, PNP 47. Who is that, Pigs?
That's Rochelle Reed Not.
Okay.
Just going up against Ed Bartlett.
Going up against Ed Bartlett.
Right.
Okay. St. James Northwestern, 54. And PNP 46.
That is Horace Strong and Alan Bernard.
Okay. St. James Southern, 46. PNP, 53.
That's Queen of the South, Nikisha Bramwell.
Nikisha.
Branswell. Yeah.
Nikisha Bershel.
Pardon me?
Nikisha
Yeah.
Bershel.
Burchell, sorry, Burchell, yeah. She's going up against former police officer, former mayor of Montego Bay, Omar. Omar?
Yes.
Omar Davis, yeah.
When I look at the St. James Northwest with Oris Chang and Alan Byrne, listen to me. Jamaica.
Not happening.
Not a, okay, all right.
So that is why I got this information too, and that is why I'm suspicious of it.
Okay. St. James Southern, 46 and PNP 53. St. James Western Central, 48, PNP 51. Trelawney Northern, 46.
That's we come. Oh, it's our person. Going against Tover.
All right. Trelawney Southern.
That is Paul Patmore going up against yeah, Miss Mama D, yeah.
Okay.
Lady with the rose coat.
So all right. So all right, we have few in Cornwall here. Westmoreland Central, 48 to 51. To say 52.
That is Dwayne Vaz going up against the stool man.
Okay, so Dwayne Vaz gone with that.
Yeah.
All right. Another Cornwall region, Westmoreland Eastern, 43, PNP 56.
Sure. I won't even mention that one.
Okay. Cornwall, still in Cornwall, Westmoreland Western, 41 for the GLP, PNP 59. Okay.
Ian is going to win that one.
Okay, so
and the east over on the eastern is our Gen 6. So I don't know when I contact about Gen 6. Yes, I'm saying sure.
All right. No, so Middlesex. We are just going into Clarendon Central because we are in Middlesex now. 56 Clarendon Central is where?
Clarendon Central will be Mapen area, Denby area.
Yes. Who is running that? That's what I mean.
I don't remember. I have a list of everybody.
Yeah, I need a list too. All right.
Yeah.
Clarendon Southern.
Mike can replace that.
PNP 52.
But Mike Henry not going again.
Yeah, who am I put for Mike Henry?
51. PNP 48. Clarendon Northwest 43. PNP 56. Clarendon Southeast, GLP 50, PNP 49. Clarendon Southwestern, wow, Southwestern, look, coming out of the GLP thing, internal poll, 60.
Southwestern, I think is the something there. What's his name again? Yeah, the sleepy guy there.
Okay, Manchester Central, 48. And PNP 51. Where is Adam?
Azan is I think he's in Clarendon.
Okay, yeah, I think.
I looking on my list.
So Azan is
South Peter Bountin is South Manchester. Okay. Andre Dixon is North Central Clarendon. Manchester is Northwestern is Michael Phillips. Donovan Mitchell is Central Manchester, and Wind is North Central Manchester.
Okay, so Manchester Northeast, 50
is Wind.
Okay.
And Michael Phillips is Northwestern Manchester.
Manchester Northwestern, 45, PNP 54. Manchester 46, PNP 53. Right? Middlesex again, St. Anne Northeast, GLP 50, PNP 49, St. Anne Northwest, GLP 48, PNP 51. St. Anne Southeast, 41, PNP 58. St. Anne Southwest, 47, PNP 53. St. Catherine Central. Who controls St. Catherine? What? Is Bob the Great?
Yeah, Bob the Great. Yeah.
Okay, we don't expect anything better from us.
Yeah.
St. Catherine Eastern, 44, JLP PNP 56. St. Catherine Eastern Central, GLP 49, PNP 51. St. Catherine North Central, GLP 46, PNP 54. St. Catherine North East, 50 for GLP, PNP 49. St. Catherine North West, 45, PNP 54. St. Catherine Southern, GLP 44, PNP 55. St. Catherine South Central.
Wilmington.
Wilmington?
No, that is Kurt Matthews. Kurt Matthews is our person.
One before a Wilmington place that.
Southern is Wilmington.
Okay, Southern, Catherine Southern.
St. Catherine Southern, a Wilmington place. Yeah, we have him. We have him. We whap him.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, St. Catherine, South Central, 61.
That's Kurt Matthews is our person.
Okay, PNP 39. And South Catherine, Southeastern, right? I mean, PNP 52. Middlesex, still in Middlesex, St. Catherine, Southwestern, GLP 54, PNP 46.
That's our Kurt Wall.
St. Catherine, West Central, 53, PNP 46.
That's Luxor Francis. For us, yeah.
Okay, St. Mary Central, 44, PNP 55.
That's
St.
Omar
Mary's
Newell. Omar Newell for us.
Okay.
St. Mary Central and Western St. Mary is Omar Woodbine.
Okay, St. Mary Southeastern, 47, PNP 52. St. Mary Western, 46, PNP 54. St. Mary Gone, Kingston Central, 44, PNP 55. What's some meeting here? Kingston East and Port Royal. What are they?
Paulwell.
Yeah, man, Paulwell down with this.
Long time.
And Kingston Central is Steve McGregor.
Okay. Steve McGregor.
Yeah, he's gonna win his seat.
Yeah, man, him out in front, man.
Okay, Kingston Western. Right, you know we can't win that tonight. Not typically get this.
Yeah, man. Desmond McKenzie. Yeah, we can't win that one.
No, we can't. Yeah, but that is expected. We can't win this. Portland Eastern.
Miracles do happen.
Okay, all right. GLP 47, PNP 52.
Which parish that?
Portland Eastern.
Lord of mercy, please. ISAT after winning. That you should even question I wanted.
So Portland Eastern. ISAT looking good.
Yeah, man.
Buchanan looking good. Oh, Portland Western. Well, let me tell them something.
Doreen Campbell. Doreen Campbell, man. Doreen Campbell.
Take that, you know. And the day election, she'll take that.
Okay.
She'll take it.
Against Vaz.
But all right, even if Darrell Vaz win this, him not gonna spend too long in a parliament because remember, say we go vote him for the bus.
But him now win it. That's the thing. Him now win it. Him now win it, Kirby.
Yeah, but vote him for the bus and other things.
ISAT presence are gonna sweep both sides of Portland.
All right. St. Andrew Eastern, GLP 47, PNP 52. St. Andrew East Central, GLP 40, PNP 60. St. Andrew.
That's Julian Robinson seat, you know. Southeast is in St. Andrews, Julian Robinson seat.
Okay, the people want it larger, so I could do it larger for the people.
Yeah.
This is interesting because if this is a GLP internal poll, and I am getting some information that this is not really recent poll. This is a long time poll, and what we are seeing here, the PNP advance in a better position. That is
But
the
listen,
information that I'm getting.
but Uncle Baron, didn't I send you a recent one that you did last week?
Well,
I sent you a list, you know.
Let me see your phone.
It was, I think I sent it to you.
Hold on, we are checking now. Things.
So check your WhatsApp message. I sent you a recent one that did last week.
They did last week. Okay, we'd love to see that one, because even with this one, there's a landslide coming. So Portland Western, right? 51-48. That is
That's Doreen Campbell.
yeah, that is the man who claims
Oh.
I own Portland.
Yeah, the man with the bus.
The man with the bus. Oh,
Yeah.
That's Darrell did it.
Yeah.
St. Andrew Eastern, GLP 47, PNP 52. St. Andrew East Central, GLP 40, PNP 60. St. Andrew East Rural, 48, PNP 52. St. Andrew North Central, GLP 65, PNP 35. St. Andrew North East, 52, 47. St. Andrew
That's Stacey Knight seat, you know.
It's the same.
Northeast East St. Andrew is Stacey's Knight seat. Katie's Knight daughter.
Okay. St. Andrew North Western 50, PNP 49. This is within the margin of error here, partially less than 1% margin of error. St. Andrews Southern. What is this? What can I be in this?
A 2 mile Latino man, that's a 2 mile with people, you know. A 2 mile region that the Mama P old stomping ground, Angela Brown.
What? 93.6. How can I beat in this?
We crucify people out of them places, man.
No, it's a crucifixion. It's a crucifixion. St. Andrew Southeastern 36, right to partially 64.
Yeah, man, all of them
Western. Watch out. Another crucifixion. I only have to melting pot. St. Andrew Southwestern.
Andrew.
I think that's Comrade Leader Golden. See.
Oh, a comrade leader.
Yeah, man. So St. Andrew, a comrade leader.
Yeah, man.
What a whipping. What?
That's where Vegas did say Mwanga challenge
Comrade leader, right extremely comfortable, man. St. Andrew Western, 36 to 63. St. Andrew West Central. How they are West Central?
The Prime Minister.
West Central.
Andrew, outgoing Prime Minister.
Andrew place that, you know.
So then, hold on. That means Andrew was in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Long time.
I think I call upon them supporters for voting more. Because we know him in
man. See, Andrew, I'm going to lose him to what, 50? But this is mighty.
Panedy now get 50. I get about 25%.
Less than 1%, yes, sir. Then Andrew West Rural, 48, PNP 51.
That's our girl, Joan Gardner Webley, little fire lady, man.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Prince Thomas Eastern, 43, 56. Who they have to,
Rocha, Michelle Charles and Rocha.
Yeah, man,
Yvonne.
pick one, man.
Yvonne Shaw. Yeah, Yvonne.
So both of them, both seat down the stuff.
Charles and James Robertson.
Yeah, but Hubert Williams, I got to take away Robertson. Send him more.
Okay.
Chat too much.
So, we could just do a quick analysis of the, what we just seen. just from their internal poll, right? Melting pot.
Yeah.
It would have appeared that, of course, a landslide is in the making. What say you on it?
Well, obviously, you know, it is there in bold, black and white, clear to everybody to see. You know, we are look on based on for them look thing. I look on about 16 seat to them and the rest to the PMP. But come the day we are change the number there to, you know, a high 60s for the PMP and low single digit for them guy there. You understand? Maybe 1 or 2 seats, you know. Not joke about it. But the day when the election, you know, is in high fever pitch and people go out of vote. What are them GLP number there? A shrink, man. Because this is not up to date thing, you know, brother. I remember, you know, the PMP gain momentum for every campaign trail where them go, you know. Them gain momentum because right now in Jamaica, the PMP a campaign. Next one, them a cast me and tear down people posters and instigate violence and all them things. And them not nothing good at all. Yeah, people can't listen to them. So, you know, that number you change already. A serious thing, man. A big landscape big to this, man. And not no contest not there overall to speak about. You understand? As me say, them a get wiped out. Yeah, man. I yield back the floor. That wipeout is for sure.
Okay, all right. Sister Spring, squeeze in.
Well, according to those numbers, my predictions is basically 55 for us, From day one, I've been saying 55 for us because only 6 of them are over there when we go back in the House of Parliament. And that number, that 6 for them does not include Andrew Williams. You understand me? Because as we see from local government, the trend that is happening, every time they meet, their crowds are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They're getting less support. And that is why they're trying everything to annoy us and distract us from what we are doing. We present plans and policies. They present cussing and threats on their platforms. That's all that they do. You understand me? And we preach one love, love our brothers and sisters, peace. They are preaching violence from every platform that they have. And this is what Jamaica does not want to go back to, the violence that happened in the past during an election. Everybody wants to know on election day they go out and vote, come back, go back home peacefully, celebrate, whatever. But everybody wants to go about their business peacefully because everybody wants to live to see Christmas coming. You understand me? So no matter what Andrew is doing, and as I said, every poll that they put out, I am suspicious of it. You know why? First of all, we know that Mats and labor rights keep malice long time.
Work and them don't work and then at all, pink skew.
The data anthem is as far as the moon is from the earth. And forever they have been fudging their numbers. I yield the floor.
All right, because we know that Pastor Ricky has his thing on needs to go, but let me just make Pastor Ricky comment before I put in this. Yes, Pastor Ricky, go ahead.
Thank you. This revealed that the green dot poll where Big Mama run with Wadia was a lie.
Yes.
Because this is the same internal green dot poll that is commissioned by the Croskeries. That's why the Prime Minister could not call the election. This is why he's out in halfway tree in traffic, being reckless and careless, putting his life at risk to get hit, God forbid, by a motorist who's not paying attention, who's distracted and driving. So I am not surprised. I've been saying 55 seats as well. But what I want now for the 8 remaining seats to make it 63, out of those 8 seats, I want a third party to win at least 6 of those seats and have 6 of their MPs in the parliament to make them an opposition to the People's National Party. And the JLP should only win 2 seats. Now, them steal enough, them rob enough, them set back Jamaica by 3 generations. Them take enough. We don't need them no more in our politics. This election should be the end of the Jamaica Labour Party. Me want the Prime Minister lose him seat. I've been calling on it even on TikTok and say, for lose him seat, we know the Speaker gonna lose our seat. We want the 2 of them lose them seat and Warmington and Vaz them and get them out of the Parliament. And them people they don't need for in on politics or represent nobody. Them are criminal. And them need for their prison when the right time come after the forensic audit. Back over to you.
All right, wonderful. Let us just bring up back the internal diagram and show the people as it relates to the grand total as it relates to the result of the internal poll, right? So we want to show that result of the internal poll. Okay, so basically what we are looking on, right, there it is, JLP total, right? So we are going to look on the cream, we are called this cream, all right, the cream area, all right, or the gray area, JLP total and PNP total. So if you look on JLP total, you see that they only were able to mop up 20 seats. And if you look on the PNP, right, total here, they mop up 43 seats. And the total seats, the grand total seats is 63. So there you have it. The JLP, based on their internal poll, polling themselves to be secure, to have secured 20 seats, and the People's National Party 43 seats. But honestly, yeah, honestly, I want to believe as it relates to, take that away, as it relates to certain information that I have, right, that I gather, that situation has changed in terms of the poll that we just showed.
Yeah.
It is really worse than what we had just shown. And, you know, as soon as I get certain data, I will present it. But, bless up, Carlos, big up yourself. People, remember, you know,
yeah, man,
Carlos pass through, the ones that take,
Carlos.
go over and support Daddy Carlos. Understand? They are all working hard. Bolo in a way, they pick up yourself. All right. So I believe that, you know, what we have seen, not to be about it. This is why Andrew Wallen's panicking, right? And this is why, you know, he's trying to, you know, try all sort of trick out of the book, but it's not going to help him because obviously the government will change. The government definitely will change. Now, my Jamaican people, let me say this as it relates to certain things that been happening here, and we're playing the last 3 clips because I know that Pastor Ricky is going to run, right? Let us go to this situation. I want to remind Jamaica something, that this is something that we need to take to the poll. Now, the Police Federation is coming out, and they are serious, and civil servants are coming out. So it's very serious, and that's one of the reasons why we believe that what we have just shown in terms of the poll is much worse. People, I want to look on these information, but before I go there, let me show what Andrew Warnes had promised, and it goes to show you that Andrew Warnes is a killer of failure. Because let us go back to memory lane. Let us travel down a little bit into memory lane. We remember that Andrew Warnes take 200 and 300% increase, and you know, of course, endorse himself and his men with, and claiming that, right, better pay will show better performance. And believe you me, as it relates to my observation, the increase in pay, it really display worse performance because we have not seen no improvement in terms of performance. Now, more money equals more work for politicians. Now, what's this? After days of outrage from different groups, Prime Minister Owners responded to the issue of enormous salary increase of politicians. And this is why now, Mr. Andrew Owners, right? People are voting you out. The electorate is voting you out. And added with that, your rampant corruption. As he declined is 214%, he shared that other politicians will work much harder to earn the increase. There will also be an appraisal mechanism in place to ensure their performance. So, Andrew, let's talk about that. Who said, based on the increase that you'll be giving your men, there will also be an appraisal mechanism in place to ensure their performance. Now, Mr. Andrew Owners, where is that? Where is that, sir? So when we say that you are a liar, you are a deceiver, you're fake, as fake can be, right? Jamaica don't trust you, right? You have lost the trust of the people, lost the trust completely of the people, right? So let us take away that, right? We just want to show that none of that, what he said, as it relates to justifying him giving his men 200 and 300% raise, none of that has done. And his men perform much worse than before. Now, let us look at this, the Police Federation, and this is very recent now. And this is why I draw back for that document. Let us get into this. Right? Here it is. And this is August 17. This is August 7. Let us get into the document. See it here, people, August 7, 2025. So yesterday, Police Federation demands urgent wage talk. Bangarang Yaseno. Kingston, Jamaica, the Jamaica Police Federation says it is incensed by the continued silence from the Minister of Finance and the Public Service regarding wage negotiations. Earlier, I spoke that I am wondering if any money in the treasury when PNP take over, because it seems that the country is broke. My Jamaican people, it's not funny. And it's demanding that Minister Favour Williams end what it calls the disrespect being shown to rank and file officers. Well, basically, now, look here, JP can't get the police them voting because the rank and file, they are upset, and the rank and file represent the larger representation of the police force, the larger numbers that make up the police force, the rank and file, not the gazetted members. So for Andrew Owners' strategy in giving the gazetted members big increase and deal with the rank and file member, you understand? Like, you know, there are some low bottom persons who don't deserve, right, any increase, right? They don't have families. They are not going to the supermarket. They are not going to the food market, right? They don't really have any responsibilities. That's how Andrew Owners is treating them. The Federation is calling the attention to what it described as an inordinate delay in starting salary and benefit negotiations for the 25th to 2027 contract period. Well, I'm sorry for you know. According to the Federation, this lack of engagement is uncharacteristics of the ministry in recent times and has resulted in no wage offer being made to date. When you hear that, people? In a statement, the Federation said 2 letters requesting urgent meetings were sent to the Minister of Finance on June 25th, 2025 and July 25th, 2025. However, the only response received on July 29 merely state that the minister was overseas with no indication of possible meeting date. This is quite disrespectful. Let us take that away and go to the panel immediately. That is quite disrespectful. Now, based on what you see here, Melting Pot, right? The level of disrespect meting out to the police. Just imagine the final response from the Minister Favour is saying that she's overseas, right? And it doesn't seem like there is no meeting arrangement in the near future. What says you about that, Melting Pot?
Well, we all know that this government has tried to hold civil servant to ransom, more so the rank and file member of the police force. Yeah? And I mean, we know that Ron, you know, him as a representative personnel for the rank and file. We know what them do to him.
Yes.
Because you cannot have government official being awarded so much increase while senior civil servant group, yeah, you hold them to ransom, you owe them overtime money. It's up for discussion, it's up for debate, but it's not getting anywhere. And this has been an ongoing saga for many years. Yeah, it has been in such a dilemma that it caused Rowan James to get interdiction because him speak out, because them no want to pay them enough. No, to my knowledge, the Jamaica Labour Party government don't want to pay the civil servant. Because as you rightfully say, I think the coffers dry. There's no money there.
Problem
They are
is there.
They are just only going about and brandishing some you know, word from them mouth like, so well then the country in a good state and them have money. One time I hear the Prime Minister come out and lie and say, boy, them have the money there, the money and no problem. Then if you have money in the country, why are you holding your civil servant to ransom? You should have paid them. I remember we know when time the police vote, you know, after them vote determine which part the victory go, you know. And right now, we know them now vote for Andrew and them government. Them have vote for Mark Golding and the People's National Party. We guarantee that the soldier them likewise. And that set the tone for the election. Anyway, the winning column going to be the police and the soldier, them shape that. Because them vote first. And I know right now all of the police and soldier them, regardless of where I'm going on the ground. As a little small percentage of Andrew boys, them create them mayhem there. The majority are law-abiding serving members from within the police force and the army. They want to make sure there's a future for them and them families, them have vote for the right people. And the right people are the People's National Party led by Sir Mark Jefferson Golding. Them now vote for Andrew and them corruption. And all of the minions them behind them were a thief. You understand me? So we know when time them set the tone that way there, yeah, the whole of the landscape are going to fall in order because no boy can come out for election day, come to no foolish because the police them are going to defend it. And when I say defend it, they are defend the peace, the law, and the order was supposed to accompany that day procedure. So when Andrew and them feel like them boy them can go out and mash up the place for the day, no, because we know the police are going behind the People's National Party. We not ask. You understand? Yes, so that is just my view from where I will take place as it relates to them holding the civil servant more so the GSCF man them rank and file to ransom for them money. Them people that want them money and them come out and outline them gross. So you know them serious. And all civil servant now vote for the government here, you know. I don't know who I vote for them. The little people them around and we are calling the little goodies bag. And enough of them collect it and still have a switch. Because them know say after that period, you know, a drought, you know, see a politician. So them now make the drought take them, you know. They must see some more what you call now rainforestry land. And that you can find out the PMP because the PMP will make life become such accessible and affordable to people. It going to be like a tsunami in the Labour Party. That's why I say 60. Me that say 63, but I kind of take off a little 3 or 5 and I say 60. Me now come out of the 60 bracket. You understand? Because even Crabbe, we say I lead Alan Bernard. We know that a change. That a change. You understand? Andrew God. I know for them God, you know, Uncle Tivoli and maybe Central, St. Catherine, where Bob's range there. Yeah. And maybe 1 or 2 more. There's not more for them. And I yield back the floor.
I do believe in terms of what Melton Pot said, it really looked thin over the JLP side, right? And I don't believe that the Jamaica Labour Party is going to win 20 seats. I just believe that, you understand, they are trying to, you know, just try to stimulate some momentum. But I don't believe that they have 20 seats at all. I honestly don't believe that. All right, Sister Pinks, come into the space.
Yes, Uncle Byron, I agree with you 100%. They
All
have
right.
probably eight seats. Eight
Yes.
seats is what they probably have, and 55 for us. All right. The reason that they did the pay hike, you know, is when they try to justify their illicit
Enrichment.
enrichment. So that is why they did the pay hike.
Yeah.
And remember, Jamaicans, the police federation took Andrew Holness government to court over their overtime and won the case against Andrew Holness government. And that is when our brother Ron came out after waiting, after they were waiting to be paid, after being promised to be paid. And look what they did to him. All the injustice that they did to this man. And this thing, what we must understand, this divide and conquer technique that the Jamaica Labour Party has been using on the police is the same thing they did with the teachers. They separate the principals from the regular teachers.
That's what
And their pay packages are different
Yes.
because they want the principals to support them the same way they want the top level people in the police force to support them, and then foolishness. Jamaica, to remember, you know, the 47 million that he claimed to have, he lied about that. So we know that he's lying about every other thing else. And let us look at the SOE case that we, the PNP, took him to court over the SOE. And we won that case, and Andrew Holness appealed that court case again. The soldiers have been complaining for years that they are tired, Andrew. The soldiers in Norwood, in the Norwood division, on the playing field that has been there for how many years? 6 years straight. You have them there. They are tired. They want to go home at them yard. They're tired of the tents and the chairs. Soldier's job is not to sit on a chair under a tent. A soldier's job is to become a soldier. You have diminished the respect and the honor of being a soldier in this Jamaica. I remember growing up, people used to fear soldiers and give soldiers a lot of more respect than police officers. No, everybody just treat them as a regular person because they're so common. You see them everywhere now. And you know, like a regular person. So you have reshaped the soldiers' duties and belittle them by making them what? Security guards? All the SOEs are basically putting security guards in these areas. and you have reduced a soldier to become a security guard. Taking him from his home, taking him from his comfort of his environment, and making him into a security guard. Simple. Why would a soldier go through all that training to be treated like a security guard? Andrew, does that make any sense? And you expect these people, the police and the teachers, to vote for you? In what universe?
Exactly.
You must be dreaming.
All
You
right.
must be dreaming. So I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron.
All right. So let us show the final document over here for tonight that the entire civil servants, right, they are upset. And this goes back in terms of the question I'm asking. I'm wondering, my Jamaican people, right, if there is any money really left in the treasury. What a bangarang this poor, what a bangarang pan with this year 2025. You let me put up the document, because trust me, I believe that if Andrew Holness did have any money in the kitty coming up for general election, he would have even want to use it. You understand? To boost his support. But when this is can't do anything, I am wondering if there is any money left. Now here it is, people. Civil servants demand outstanding payments for from health ministry. Right? Now, the Jamaica Civil Service Association, JCSA, is concerned over the non-payment of outstanding emoluments owed to public sector workers under the Ministry of Health. The government committed to public sector workers that increments and other outstanding monies will be paid in the first quarter of the current financial year. But JCSA President Teka Clark Griffith says to date, no payments have been made. So let us play the thing here and listen to what
the Ministry of Health, like all the other ministries, would have received the agreement for the outstanding payments to public sector workers. So there was an outstanding payment for mileage that should have been paid last year, outstanding payment for extra hours work, and also now the increment is the third thing. The increment took effect on April 1, 2025, and it was supposed to be paid in the first quarter. Some ministries would have implemented theirs in April, and June is the end of the first quarter where all ministries, departments, and agencies are supposed to meet those obligations. The finance ministry have submitted the money to the Ministry of Health, and so it must be incompetence why the ministry is not paying the workers. So they have not paid anything to the workers since the implementation of the agreement.
Mighty God. No, this is serious.
It is always at the last minute that they send out something to the workers. If it is that there are some challenges, they need to communicate with the worker representative about those challenges. And it is not on their time. They are given a specific time frame in which to pay. They need to pay the workers their money. The deadline for payment is the 30th of June. They still have another couple of days to go.
We had a meeting today. This is the Ministry of Health and its regional authorities with the Ministry of Finance. We had a good discussion on a number of issues, one of which is the outstanding payments due based on the compensation review process. And I think the Ministry of Finance will follow up with a conversation with the unions. So that's all I can say at this point. So there was a conversation and the concerns were raised, issues discussed, and there should be some reaching out from the Ministry of Finance.
No, you know what, Jamaica, I am starting to really think that there are some serious problems, right, as it relates to shortages of funds. And one of the reasons why I'm saying that, this is how I am putting the pieces together. Remember, as it relates to Canal Regional Hospital, right, where Christopher Tufton claimed that it is only $9 billion spent, right? However, the $23 billion that he's talking about is a trajectory. And remember, that has been budgeted for already. So I'm saying then, I mean, if they have that money, the difference is, right? Why Cornwall Regional Hospital, right, is not moving forward as it relates to serious construction work that needs to take place there. Problem is here, people. An area of the civil servants, right, having problem in terms of getting their money. So then what it looks like to me as well, also the 200 and 300% increase that they have taken is also a burden on the system. And that must be a burden on the system, people. Because they're taking 200 and 300% raise. And teachers cannot get adequate pay. Nurses cannot be paid adequately. Doctors cannot be paid adequately. Teachers cannot be paid adequately. Right? The police cannot be paid adequately. We are in a serious dilemma. And so then, I think that prudency should be applied in terms of, you know, withdraw, right? This 200 and 300% so that it can facilitate, right, the payment of other, particularly the civil workers. And so when, based on what I'm looking on, I am seriously wondering if really and truly we have as much money in the treasury, right, to pay civil workers. It doesn't seem like we have, it seems like Andrew Honest, as it relates to the level of pilfering, robbed from the treasury, and now it gone to the bottom. And so then civil workers are in a bind in terms of getting their money. Problem there. Melting Pot, what say you on the matter? Right?
Yeah,
This is
the
the
matter
final
is,
wrapping
the
up.
matter is, the matter is plain and obvious, Sir Byron and Lady Pinskew, Lady Anne Marie. Because when you have 3 trillion missing, you know, and a small money that for replace, and that will create a ripple effect right across the landscape of all the ministry. So you're going to find like the police them can't get paid, the teachers them can't get paid. And, you know, this thing is just bad because the money was there. As we've said on other programs, this Labour government get a healthy economy, you know, a thriving economy, an economy that was, you know, growing by over 2% annually. And so for it to find itself where it is now, in a stalemate, you know, as it relates to the recession, then I know when you have a recession, and plus on top of that, when your economy will grow less than 1% annually, it shows that you can't do nothing, you know. It's like me, I go to work, but me credit from the vendor at the workplace, my lunch. But when payday come, I don't have any money to pay the vendor. I have to hide out the vendor. Andrew been hiding out the police them and the teachers them, yeah, promising them, dodging them, because they don't have the money. But yet still them come on platform, come say them have money. But that was just to, you know, make the people them have a little bit of reassurance. Yeah, the Prime Minister say them have money. But Jamaican people are Prime Minister lie, you know. The only time him no lie when him don't open him out. Him lie. So not when him say don't believe him. Won't have to look pan if you know where I'm going in the country. He just knows that this guy is a bossy guy. And if him have things to do and him can do it, he will do it to get there, you know, accolades.
Exactly.
So for him now, I will on the police pay where him know say everybody's supposed to tell him say, yeah, well, remember the police and soldier them first voting at them, this front for them now vote for we, you know. We not have them on our side. He would have sought them out. Yeah? So we just are using critical analytic ways of thinking and know say something wrong with the money in our country. The country broke because we know the country in a recession. We know them not attract no new investment in the country. No investor now come. So there is no new investment going forward. We know so them not generate no money. And we know them rob 3 trillion and time catch up on them. Them a shuffle around. You understand? But it can't come back. The damage has really been done. So we know them are get a vote out. I mean, we want to say 63 and all, but you know, look like me I got to that, but me take 60. Me never not drop down to 50. Yeah, but my lioness sister, she said 55. I mean, no, she up on the ground. She have understanding where I'm going. But even so, I wipe out that a landslide. Because PMP have to take back the country, you know. PMP have to take back the country. Because PMP not take back the country, then I come back to Jamaica. Me I tell you from now. Yeah? Me not coming back here. So for me, go back to my place. Me have to make sure no so me start pave the way. So we can return back. And many more Jamaicans are having the same thought that I am exhibiting right now. Not going back to Jamaica, not under this government. So we know deliverance is near and it's almost right here. A few weeks away. And when deliverance comes, oh, what a sweet moment. What a sweet victory. What a nice Jamaica. It's going to be a sweet jam down once again. I yield back the floor.
All right, Sister Pinks. All right, please close us out for tonight, Sister
Yeah,
Pinks.
Melting. Okay, thank you, Uncle Byron. Melting Pot, you have said so much. You have said so much, and I'm beginning to understand. And I have to agree with you. The country is broke. If you have a chicken farm and you keep putting and you full up the silo, and every day you go there and you take out and you take out and you don't replace it, one day it's going to be empty. And right now, the silo of Jamaica is empty. Because as my friend Melting Pot said, how can you not want to pay the police and the soldiers? The same police who are guarding you right now. You are an elected member of parliament, and the police have a duty to protect our members of parliament. How can you not want the persons who bodyguard your life to be comfortable financially? Does that make any sense to anybody?
Doesn't.
We have seen so many times teachers come out and say they go to the ATM and the money is not in their account.
Yes.
So many times teachers are complaining. So labor rights who are supporting Andrew, can so many people be telling lies on this man? Think about it. Couple months ago, we have the lab team, the medical lab personnel at Cornwall Regional Hospital demonstrating because for how many years? 3 years, they have not received any uniform. So, you know, lab techs need that little white gown to wear. And so many police have told us that they have to buy their own shoes.
Wow.
How can that happen? Is the first time under a government, police have to be buying their own gears to go to work after not being paid their overtime. So you understand why the police are angry? And I said it already, you know, the police that graduate, where are they? None was sent to St. James and Trelawney. The same staff is here for years. And they have to work the SOEs as well as their regular duties. When I heard how much a police was paid, I had to really shake my head. It's very low for all the work that they are doing, and they are demanded to do overtime and not being paid for it. That is what a police officer told me recently. They still want them to do the overtime, and yet they are not asked if they will be paid for it. Does that make any sense? That's returning us back to slavery. How can
Exactly.
someone work overtime and not be paid in this time, 2025, when the laws have been changed? Andrew Holness, you must go down. You must go down like Ahab and Jezebel. Trust me, you and your wife are going down. And I yield the floor to you, Uncle Byron.
Well, all right. Thank you for that, Sister Pinks. Now we come to the end of our presentation for tonight. We want to say big thanks to all of our subscribers and our listeners, and I hand over to my wife for the closure.
Okay, guys. So thank you to everyone for tuning in as usual. Really appreciate everyone's continued support, and we will be looking on Sunday to see if this man will announce an election date so we can all be free of him and his regime.
Mighty
So
God.
let us keep our eyes and ears peeled on Sunday so that we can hear if he will really fly the gate or take it down to the wire where the Constitution will have to kick in, because he says that he's not going to be holding he's not one to hold the country hostage, but basically that's what he's been doing.
You can't believe him.
Anyway, guys, have a wonderful and blessed weekend.
All right.
Rest well and walk good. Stay safe. God bless.
All right. Blessings. Out.
So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right kind of stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.